Cargill, and you're watching Mod Pod Studio Live presents Gals, Gays, and Theys, broadcasting from our studios here in Pasadena, California. And I'm not alone. I'm with the whole crew. Everybody, please welcome the gang. First off, we have Mariah. What up, Mariah? Our engineer with the mostest on the engineer cam. You see her there. And then we have on the sofa talking to the Dynamos, which is what we call all of our amazing fans in the live chat, DeMarcus and Becky. Yay! Hi. Add a little bit of laughter too. Yes. That's me laughing at the fact that DeMarcus just flew into the studio 90 seconds ago, but you wouldn't know that at home. It's seamless at home. I love that. All right, everybody. So first, DeMarcus, you were here. No, you weren't here on our last show, but the show before you were. So we just started a new thing where we just take a moment to catch up with everybody, see how you've been since our last show. I used to jump right into the news stories, but I just want to, take a moment to see how everyone has been doing. Let's start with you, Becky. How have you been?
You know what? I've been great. Thanks for asking. I've been balancing school. I got cast in a play.
Oh my gosh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Whoa, that's awesome. What play?
You.
Make sure you're talking right into that microphone too, even if you have to pull the whole thing over to you.
Okie dokie.
There you go.
So it's called Melancolía, and it's going to be at Los Angeles City College.
Melancholy?
Melancolía.
So, but in English it would be melancholy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, melancolía.
Melancolía.
So it's something about what's the story?
So it's actually about PTSD with veterans that came back from Iraq. And our story follows Mario Gonzalez, who came back from Iraq, and his story with PTSD and how all that unfolded for him.
Wow. And this is a stage production?
Yes.
And you're cast as?
I'm cast as a character. His name is Ruben's girlfriend. So part of the ensemble, but it's a very exciting experience because it's my first production with LACC.
Congratulations.
So
this is a really big deal. What? Nice. We have all these awesome performers in here. You're going to have to get some tips from our working actor over here, DeMarcus.
Oh, yes, please.
DeMarcus, I bet you have all kinds of updates, huh? What's that? I can hear that your computer's on. Or is that me? Nope.
We're getting
mute that computer. Boom. Rock and roll. So we missed you because you're at an audition. What's up?
So the Super Bowl happened.
Yes, congratulations. Your Carvana ad was out. That was awesome.
That was amazing. And 2 days after that, boom, 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 things just started happening. Boom, boom, boom.
Wow.
So I'm like,
wow.
I just did an audition right before I came over here. I got another one when I go home. I got one due Monday. It's crazy, but I love it.
Have you ever had auditions like this consistent before?
Not as consistent. I'd get two, one Monday, one Thursday or something like that. But now it seems like every other day.
Man.
Wow.
I gotta keep up with it. And you gotta be grounded and focused. So it's okay, it's go time.
And you're getting callbacks and you're closing.
Yeah.
You're getting cast.
So
this is great.
Yeah, it's going.
So exciting. Yeah. I love it because, when someone works so hard at something and you finally see the work pay off, it's such a wonderful thing.
Yeah. It feels like a dream right now. It really does.
Oh,
it feels like a dream.
So heartwarming. Oh, you know what? We just did this just for you.
Oh.
It's a dream. So you have to pinch yourself sometimes. I love that. That's when life is really, really good. Oh, man. Congratulations.
And then this right here, this is...
of course. You love this being on the show. That's right.
I love this. This is like home. But also, I got a feeling we're going to blow up pretty soon. So people out there...
What do you mean pretty soon? We're already huge.
We're already huge.
We're massive in the world of our imagination. But that's okay. My mom's watching. Hi, Mom. All right. So never always saving the best for last. Miss Mariah. Mariah, what's going on with you?
Gosh, I don't have any news.
You're always here. I'll tell you, JD. We're cutting promos. We're cutting clips.
My whole life is Mod Pod.
I know.
Which is great.
Aw, that's so nice.
I have no news. I'm excited for the weekend.
It is. What are you doing this weekend?
I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to the laundromat.
Exciting
Which is
stuff.
really fun.
This just in, folks. Mariah's going to the laundromat.
That's on my plans. I'm gonna go
Get ready,
to the movies.
You're going to the movies?
Yeah.
What are you going to see?
I'm gonna go see Uncharted this weekend.
Oh, everybody's talking about that.
Opening weekend, Tom Holland, Mark Wahlberg. Opening weekend, I want to support opening weekend. Not that they really need my support, but
as a woman who is attracted to both men and women, Tom Holland's perfect. Because he's half man, half woman.
My type.
He's like a man, but he's so little that it's I love it.
And you've seen my boyfriend, and they kind of look a little similar.
It all just came together for me in one. You fully have a type.
Yeah.
Your boyfriend does kind of look like Tom Holland now that I'm thinking about it.
Sometimes he does, and
That's cool.
Which is really cool.
I'm looking it up. Uncharted movie. I'm just making a little note because I want to see when it's playing.
I played those games. Like,
Ooh, maybe let's go see this tonight.
I don't even know the history of Uncharted.
Oh
I just am
my
excited.
gosh.
So I'm a fake fan, but
I've played every single game they have on PlayStation, Xbox. It's so when this movie came out, or when it was announced, I'm not gonna lie. At first, I was like, Tom Holland, dude. Like maybe it's a young version that he's playing, because the guy in the guy on the games is like a lot older, a lot older.
oh really?
Yeah, he's probably like in his late 30s or something, early 40s. But and he's been doing this for years. But it's gonna be interesting to see how Tom pulls it off.
I'm excited.
Do you know who Taron Egerton, is that his name? The actor from the movie about Elton John's life.
Yes.
Taron, right? Taron, yeah.
That dude is amazing.
He's
phenomenal.
really talented, really good. They look a lot alike to me.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
when
yeah.
you first look at Tom Holland, like Tom Holland's growing into that like look. He's really
They have
handsome.
similar like smiles and teeth.
Ruben Fleischer is the director. That's exciting. Rafe Junkins, I'm just seeing who wrote it.
It's supposed to do phenomenally well, especially off of the Spider-Man success.
I bet.
Spider-Man did so well. They just topped Avatar, not in like total box office, but they just topped Avatar in
Are you serious?
yeah.
Wait,
They're not
what did?
So Spider-Man No Way Home, they didn't top Avatar in like the total
Like worldwide gross?
Worldwide gross, but they topped them, I think.
Domestic?
I don't know.
You know where we look for things like this? Becky.
Deadline.
Go to boxofficemojo.com.
You got it.
Boxofficemojo.com, all one word. And they have all the records in there, and you can put in, like, hey, what's the biggest movie of all time?
But yeah, like
by
Deadline,
country.
Hollywood, Wired, like
Yeah.
all been posting about it's record breaking.
Well, congratulations to them. That's
so
huge.
Uncharted is supposed to do really
Even
good
better.
because it's
Oh,
Tom
man.
Holland, and he's kind of the guy right now.
He is the guy.
Man,
Yeah.
he's like the new Tom Cruise, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The new star of all the films.
And he's dating Zendaya. It's just.
Are you kidding me?
Yep.
Power couple.
Yeah.
And very young relationships always last. So good job. I hope it works out.
Especially in Hollywood, right?
I do like. It doesn't turn into a big fight between you and Zendaya because we definitely want them to get along. Mark Wahlberg's in this, Antonio Banderas, Tom Holland, and then a bunch of like up and comers, I guess, because I don't recognize a lot of these names.
Pancheco's in it. Pancheco, I think his name is. He's from Outer Banks on Netflix.
Oh yes, Tati Gabrielle.
Oh, she is. I am in love with her.
She's lovable.
She's
My
in Chilling
goodness.
Adventures of Sabrina, and that's one of my favorite shows.
What a striking
The one on Netflix.
beauty she is.
Yeah, she's like the lead, like weird sister's witch.
Yeah.
She's one of the most beautiful people I've ever seen.
Well, congratulations to Tati Gabrielle. What a beautiful name too. She's working it, and she looks. I mean, haven't seen the movie, but she's pretty high up on the list of credits. So I'm guessing that she's the lead.
Becoming very
female in it.
wanted in Hollywood right now. She's
Very
getting
nice.
a lot of roles.
I just love that. I love when you see people star rise, and then sometimes you wonder, where did so and so go?
Mm-hmm.
Like they were a
Yeah.
huge star one
Yeah.
day.
Brendan Fraser.
Brendan Fraser.
But he's coming back. He's
God
back
bless
right
him. He has worked. Brendan Fraser reminds me of like Jason. Who's the actor from Ozarks? He's really Jason Bateman.
Bateman.
Jason Bateman's a huge star now,
Yeah.
but for a while it was like, what happened to Jason Bateman? Remember? And then I
Yeah.
think
Arrested
Development, I
Yeah.
think, really
And
like
then he
brought
just
him
kinda
back,
like-
and then people
Yeah.
saw, he does comedy too, and all this stuff. And now so I think that maybe could happen for.
Wait, was he always
Jason.
a serious actor before comedy? I've seen him just do comedy. Like I
His
can't
comedic
take him.
timing is so good.
Yeah, it's,
Even in Ozark, I'm like, man, I'm wanting them to crack a joke right now.
I know. It would be that would be so appropriate on Ozark because it's such lighthearted fare,
I've got the No Way Home stats.
It's so I don't know how I feel about making laughter happen for my own jokes. It feels a little distant. Part of me wants to just take this machine with me through life, and then part of me just feels like, oh, that's not the most authentic thing to do. But why don't we go ahead and shift?
She just said she got the stats.
Oh, you did? Oh,
yeah.
perfect. I'm sorry.
So I got the stats. Okay, so Spider-Man No Way Home, we are at worldwide lifetime gross at 1,809,000.
That's not right.
No, yeah.
Maybe 1 billion.
Billion.
Yeah. There
Million.
you
I
go.
didn't carry the zero.
Carry those. How many circles?
I was like,
One,
million
two.
would be very
1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah, we're at 1,809,000,000. Avatar's worldwide lifetime gross is 2 billion.
Worldwide. But what's
Yeah, it
domestic
wasn't-
Domestic,
on those two?
Spider-Man passed it.
There
Okay,
you go.
so we
That's
are
the
at
statistic.
762 million for No Way Home,
Mm-hmm.
and Avatar has 760 million.
Wow. Well,
Domestic.
bravo. That is another big accomplishment.
Yeah.
And let's see, Spider-Man.
And I think it's number 4 on the worldwide. I think.
Is this a Disney property or is it
It's
Sony?
yeah, Disney.
It's Disney because they own
So Marvel
They own
now
Marvel?
takes up, I think.
I thought they partnered up, and
some of the Marvels are through Disney and some of them like
Most-
Fantastic Four and those are still
Like
at
Sony.
Fox or I don't know. Honestly, this is something we're going to be doing, going through all of our shows, fact checking, and we'll bring you a segment at the end of the month where we talk about all the stuff that we were like, was that 100% sure? Speaking of fact checks, it's the time that we like to take the Rainbow Press. Are you ready? Well, let's do it now. You hear that drum? Boom, boom, boom. That's the beat of our new news music. Welcome to the Rainbow Press. Still. Today we want to talk about a few stories that popped up that we thought were of interest to us in our community. But actually, before I do that, no one actually knows I'm going to do this right now. I'm going to take a moment for a little commentary because I know we're in the flow of the show now and we are really excited and having a fun time. This is our 6th episode or 7th episode, 6th episode. And we're on twice a week, Tuesdays and Fridays from 2 to 5. But I just want to take a moment to remind everybody why we're doing this and what exactly is going on here. Because each show, we have some new people come and I want to just make sure that that message is out there. Mariah and I thought of this concept in this show when we were having a conversation about sort of the status of and the ability right now for people who might not know a gay person or know a trans person or know someone who's bisexual or who's been marginalized in some way. They may not know anybody. They may not know someone they could talk to ask a question. Or maybe a grandmother has a granddaughter who prefers to go by the pronouns they and them. Or maybe your neighbor is experimenting sexually and has a lot of questions and you want to be able to help. These are all great people to come check out this show. We are all marginalized here in one way or another and have been. But we're on a side of it now where I feel like we can see the light and we can honestly say it does get better and honestly create a place where people who are on this journey, no matter where you are on it, no matter whether life is great or not so great, but you can come, feel comfortable. Hopefully, as we grow the show and the audience grows, the live chat will really grow and also become a place for support and encouragement and beauty and love and questions and curiosities and maybe even a little hurt and pain too that we can resolve. But there's a lot that we have planned for this show. But the most important thing to us is that you know that we are doing it for you. And that you are welcome here and that you belong here. And whether you're looking at us right now in South Africa or Australia or China or, well, it's not going to be China probably because of their internet rules there, but plenty of other places around the globe, around the country, or if you're just down the street in Pasadena here. And even if you don't want to talk in the chat, just to listen, just know that you're included here, that you're invited and that you belong here. And we welcome you and we love you. All right, so that was my little side commentary that I wanted to say at the top of this show, and I'm probably going to do that every now and then just as a reminder of what we're doing here at Gals, Gays, and Days. Now, back to today's stories. The first one I want to talk about, I know I've been talking about the Winter Olympics a lot because I'm such a sports enthusiast, but the Olympics are special. They're historic, and the current Winter Olympics continue to deliver a ton of great stories for the gay community. The latest one is that even though we're sad the United States women's hockey did not win, the team that beat them, Canada, that women's team, the female hockey team from Canada, has 7 out players. What? Woo! 7 women on the Canadian ice hockey team that just won the gold medal at the Olympics identify as lesbian. And so I believe they're all lesbian, yes. And so congratulations to them, their team, and congratulations to all of us in the gay community, because that rocks. This is the most, like, the gayest Winter Olympic sports team there's ever been.
It's a very
that we
exciting,
know.
that we know of.
Exactly. So what do we think about this? Congratulations to the Canadians. We're sad that the U.S. team lost. They were defending their gold title, too. They won 4 years ago. But let me read you a couple of fun facts about this.
I love lesbians.
Just as a rule, all lesbians. No, I don't. I love people. And lesbians are people, so that's included. I don't know why I said that. I love lesbians, of course. I love everybody. All right, the gay women's hockey team. My notes. So gay. The 7 wonders of the world. That's what I'm calling these women. The Canadian women's ice hockey team took home gold this week after beating their rivals, us, the United States, and they were the reigning champions, the United States. The undefeated Canadians dominated the game early on, jumping up 3-0 in the first 2 periods. And then the United States came up for a little bit, scored 2 more points against them. But at the end of the day, the score was 3-2 and Canada won.
Close one.
On Team Canada, the goals came from Sarah Nurse and team captain Marie-Philip Poulin, who is now the only hockey player to score, get this, in 4 Olympic gold medal games.
The only one. Wow.
Just think, that's 4. First of all, you have to be playing for at least 16 years.
Yeah.
And since we know that Canada didn't win last time, we know I guess that means mathematically she's been at least 20 years going to the Olympics.
Yeah.
Because in order to win in 4 different gold medal games, and knowing last time they didn't, that's 5 times. Okay, every 4 years. Quadrennial, the Olympics, by the way, I just had to look that up for something I was writing. Things that happen every 4 years are quadrennial.
Fun fact.
Fun fact. So the meeting, is another chapter. This has been a heated rivalry between the United States and Canada on the ice. But ever since the sport was introduced in the Winter Olympics of 1998, the Canadians, who now have 5 golds to the Americans 2, have established themselves as the premier force in women's hockey. So that's crazy. I'm just so proud of them, and I'm so happy. And if any of you beautiful lesbian Canadian hockey players want to come on Gals, Gays, and Days, you're invited. Oh, that's not the right button. You can do this. Oh, I hope it's the Canadian women's hockey team that just arrived. So congratulations to them.
Yes.
Thoughts? Nah, we're good. Go Canada.
Go lesbian.
Sports.
Watch. Everyone should watch Tampa Bay's on Amazon Prime.
Oh, okay.
It's like a reality show about lesbians in Tampa Bay, Florida.
Right? This is one of your favorite shows.
It's so good.
I could hear it in your voice. There's something good about this show.
It's so good. I sat down and watched it, and I couldn't stop because, I mean, the drama is just really good.
Yes, I knew it was coming.
I'm definitely. What's happening on Tampa Bay's this week on Tampa Bay's?
So what's good is, I think this is why it's so good, is they all knew each other before the show. So
that helps.
They all already had drama, relationships, things brewing. They already, some people already hated each other, and then the show comes in and it's supposed to be like, well, Tampa Bay is supposed to be like the hub for lesbians, and so
right.
Yeah,
who knew?
Yeah,
it's like
Florida.
WeHo. It's the lesbian WeHo of the East.
Yeah, exactly.
Southeast, right on.
So it's a hub, and like a lot of them come from the Midwest or somewhere else where they're like, I want to be around other lesbians, other gay people, so they go to Tampa Bay. So yeah, it's really good.
I love it.
It's really good.
I mean, your recommendations are rare, which means they're important and valuable to me. So I will definitely check this out. Tampa Bay's.
Tampa Bay's.
All right. Also in the news of interest to all of us in the marginalized communities, Victoria's Secret has cast their first model with Down syndrome in a major ad, right?
Yep.
Congratulations. This week, 24-year-old model Sofia Jirau became the first person with Down syndrome to appear in a campaign for Victoria's Secret. The Puerto Rican model appeared alongside 17 other women to promote the new all-day comfort love cloud collection, which the brand hopes will, quote, reinforce Victoria's Secret's commitment to welcoming and celebrating all women. The group in that big photo, by the way, is also made up of a variety of folks, including famous faces like Hailey Bieber, Hill and Adut Akech, as well as Valentina Sampaio, who was the lingerie's company's first transgender model back in 2019. She's also featured in that group ad. So congratulations to the model, first of all. Sophia, you get a big round of applause because I'm sure this was a big goal for you for a long time. And to Victoria's Secret for making efforts in diversity and inclusiveness with their campaign. I really believe in that.
Yeah.
Progress.
It's a little progress, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Right?
they're known for, what they're known for.
Angel wings, lots of skin.
Really skinny, tall white woman.
It surprises me how many times Victoria's Secret has popped up on the show so far. Because
I
we
know,
talked
we
about
just
lingerie.
talked about
I'm like,
Victoria's
isn't lingerie basically role play? Like, it does feel that way to me because it's. I mean, I don't wear lingerie, nor have I ever been with anybody wearing lingerie. Is there male lingerie?
There is. If you go on any lingerie website, unless it's specifically for women, there's a section that says men.
And it's not just silk boxers with hearts on it.
It's mostly
Leggings?
no, it's
If there's
mostly
leggings, I'm there.
Less than boxers.
Oh, skimpy little
Yeah.
all right, male lingerie. This
Yeah.
might be the new thing. I'm really proud of this this young woman for accomplishing this dream. She was featured on one of the morning shows I saw, and she's really excited. You can just see.
That's awesome.
She's
That's
like,
awesome.
I've been working at this so long.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
amazing.
I love that.
more news coming out of the fun and exciting and sort of unexpected world of architecture, living, residential space, and Disney. Those things all go together, right? So have you heard about this? Disney is opening its first living community in Rancho Mirage. It's called Catino. It's the first development by Story Living by Disney, and it is going to be in the Coachella Valley, right there next to Palm Springs, in Southern California. And the whole concept is, if you've ever, if Disneyland is the happiest place on earth, I guess Story Living by Disney is the happiest place to live, because you can't live at Disneyland, but you could live at a Disney-owned community. Let's show them what they've got planned. This is nuts. They are building a lagoon. This is massive.
It's huge.
Like, they're creating in the middle of the California desert, the low desert, right next to Palm Springs. They are creating a lagoon that's so big that they're going to be able to offer beachfront property and entertainment and recreation. They're building a
full-on
beach.
Because we totally haven't been in a drought for the past 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Disney's like, look at what's going on in the world.
This is
Global
not just
warming,
like-
massive drought. You know what we need? A giant lagoon in the middle of the Coachella Valley.
And they're building almost 2,000 houses and condos.
Yeah, it's
Which
nuts.
is that's a lot.
I don't know how. Oh, wow. That's,
Yeah.
It says some of the developments will be for residents 55 and older. So there'll
Right.
be either areas. This is just the first location that they've announced. This is the official one. If you go to storylivingbydisney.com, real website, you can see all the details about this particular development that's coming, and then some of the other plans that they have for next ones. I think it's pretty exciting. I mean,
There's going to be full-on characters walking around too. It's going to
This just gave me an idea for a movie or something
like
Oh, we
Black
gotta hear
Mirror
this.
episode.
wait, I didn't read that. There's characters walking around.
Cast members, it's going to feel and there's
Oh,
also
that is special.
all residents will have the option to have a club membership, which will include live shows, cooking classes, wellness activities, etc. So
This is
it's-
great. Everyday magic. The very heart of any Story Living by Disney community rests in Disney's vision of vibrant settings and magical possibilities. Imagination and inspiration have been carefully infused into every detail to provide invigorating and rejuvenating environments and activities. It is true, no one does detail like Disney.
yeah.
Right.
You go to their parks, you watch their movies, every little detail has been considered.
True.
It's the Disney sort of stamp,
Yeah.
This
They
is
re-
going to be 24/7. That you'll see all this, characters, everything.
I don't know if it'll be characters 24/7, but it might be everyone. I don't know.
I know.
I
right?
don't know.
Becky, what?
They really said, what do we do with all the Disney adults? They're crowding the park. What do we do? Oh, I know. Gather them all up, send them to the Inland Empire.
Yeah, Disney adults.
There are fans of Disney, let's
Yeah.
be honest, that love Disney, live and breathe Disney. Disney, the brand is so strong that if they announce that they're doing something, there's an entire population of people that just will automatically do it,
Right.
because Disney's announced it and it's being
That's
done.
what I'm like wondering. Is there a waiting list for this?
I bet.
Or
I mean,
how
much are they gonna
money
cost?
is this gonna
Exactly.
cost?
Oh, good Lord. I imagine in the millions.
Are they gonna do like renting? Do you have to own it? I have so many questions.
And is there going to be low cost housing? Will there be
Oh, heck no,
some
it's
unhoused
Disney.
people there that need to be, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if this is a city. It's a
Yeah.
community. So it's going to be,
It's just so.
I'm going to say, write your next chapter. Imagine your
giant.
life set in a place where world famous Disney service makes moments more memorable. Here, the greater Palm Springs area calls you to bring everything you've come to love and set the stage for even more. I mean, they know how to sell themselves. That's for dang sure. I really would. I mean, it's
So is this going into an area that's already decently populated? Like the exact area?
the Coachella Valley. I mean, Palm Springs probably has at least 100,000 people, or
Yeah.
probably a couple 100,000 in the whole sort of high desert valley, which includes Rancho Mirage, Cathedral City, Palm Desert, Palm
Right,
Springs,
Yucca Valley.
Indio,
Right,
and then
right,
you go
right, right.
more west and you get to Riverside, which they're describing this as Riverside-ish. So I have a feeling this is in that.
Okay,
I
so
feel
it's
like
not
you're not
just
going to
like
drive as far.
you're not just driving out and then it's just this Disney place. It's like within a already developed community as well.
Right. Well,
Okay.
Rancho Mirage it's a city, I think.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, those poor people. Can you imagine?
I know, that's what I'm
just,
thinking too.
living there, and then all of a sudden,
Disney community goes up next to you.
the Disney. Have you seen like the Disney?
You can see over the
influencers?
wall. Here's my Thursday.
I mean, they could all sell their homes for like a
Look
lot
over the
of
wall
money.
and Aladdin's just flying by on the carpet.
Oh my God.
You're like, there's not enough going on over here.
These are the same people that will shove you at rope drop. These are the same people that I've seen shove literal 3-year-olds
Becky, are
to
you
get on Peter
traumatized?
Pan. Yes, I am.
Someone has some
Shoved.
little small T Disney trauma.
I do.
Share, girl, share. Let it out.
So I love Disney. I've been going to Disney for every 2 years ever since I was little.
Mm-hmm.
And I went a couple months ago. My aunt took me with my cousins. And I thought, oh my gosh, like we're back. This is great because I haven't gone in a while ever since they raised their prices. There's no longer any fast passes. You got to pay for Disney Plus. I mean, no, Genie Plus or something. Like, I don't know. The quality of the parks is just going downhill. And then I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I'm really passionate about
I'm down.
this.
If you're just joining us, this is a segment of the show we call Becky's Rant. And it's when our new intern, Becky, just goes off on something that isn't fair. And honestly, I'm here for it. Go,
you.
Becky. Finish your rant.
So I'm a Star Wars fan.
Good.
Huge Star Wars
Who
fan.
isn't?
Me too.
To the point where I almost had my quinceañera Star Wars themed. Like I went to church in R2D2 rhinestone heels.
you have
kid
photos?
you not.
I love that
yes,
so
I
much.
Do. I
Can you
had a
bring
Roman
photos
Catholic
next time?
priest bless my R2D2 high heels.
Mm-hmm.
That is something I did. Put that on the resume.
Wow. We need photos of
Yeah,
that.
we need to. This is one of those stories that we need to come back to when we have
Yeah.
a good photo to show with it.
Definitely. I will send that to you. So I go to Star Wars Land and I'm expecting to see, I mean, I get it. You can't, there's only so much you can do with the older characters like Han Solo, Luke, and Leia, especially since the actors are either no longer here with us or retired. But you have Chewbacca, you have C-3PO, you have R2-D2. I go into this Star Wars land and I don't recognize any of these characters.
Oh, they're from the new
It's
movies.
just the new movies. Yes, same thing with the Marvel campus. I go in thinking, oh, Captain America, Iron Man, Black Widow. And they do have aspects, but the only ride on that
Guardians of the
concrete freaking campus is, well, Guardians of the Galaxy, well, yes, it was already there
the
before they
Spidey
built
one.
it. The Spider-Man one.
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
See, when I went to Marvel, I saw all the characters,
Oh,
almost
sweet.
all of them perform. And then at Star Wars, I saw like Chewbacca and all of them too.
So you were just there on a
I guess I
rough
was just there
day.
on yeah. I went on the
They said
Falcon.
Becky's coming. We're not gonna come out
tone
today.
it down.
They're like, oh, guess what, folks? She's coming. It's been 2
Everyone
years.
hide.
Everybody get ready. Do the Becky drill.
The Star Wars freak that had a Roman Catholic priest bless her freaking R2D2 shoes is coming. Everybody hide in the
They
bunkers.
shut down Star Wars.
Wait, you had a Catholic priest bless your R2D2 shoes?
It was a quinceañera, yes.
Yeah.
So it did, but you
That's
said I
too funny.
almost had a Star Wars themed
I did,
quinceañera.
and I ordered the shoes beforehand.
Uh-huh.
And then I was talking to my dad. He's the one that was organizing the whole thing, and he was like, "Are you sure you want this?" We already had a few things. We had lightsabers for the dance floor.
Uh-huh.
We had my R2D2 shoes. and we had stars and such. And he's like, "Are you sure?" And even my cousin pulled me aside, and she was like, "Are you sure you want this? You're gonna look back and be like, what the heck?" So I guess with all the "are you sure's," I was like, "Oh, I guess I should do something more neutral." And so I ended up going for like an old Hollywood type thing.
I love that.
'Cause I love
Star
classic
Wars
Hollywood.
is going to be with us for our whole lives.
Yeah.
I mean, they're building the massive George Lucas, a whole museum here. You know, Los Angeles
did
was
not know
chosen
that.
as the location. It's like a multi-billion-dollar campus that's going up, and
that's
it's
gonna be packed
going to be a
every day.
massive over there by the 405. But I do still think your parents probably were just trying to guide you in the rest route. They're like,
I understand. Yes.
You're not a fan of Star Wars unless you're
Dang
like.
it! I should have gone full out. I should have done the full quinceañera.
maybe we can
Regrets.
start a new
Remake
trend
it.
because, I'm sure there's another important age coming up. It's like Quinceañera Part 2.
30. That's a
30.
quinceañera squared.
Oh, there you go. There you go. So everybody's invited to Becky's Dirty 30. It's going to be a Star Wars theme.
Star Wars themed. We'll rent out Star Wars land. We'll do it right.
Let's do it right. In fact, it's going to be taking place at Rancho Mirage, home of Disney's new Cortino Story by Disney Living, or Story Living by Disney.
All the Disney adults. But yeah, to circle back to the original topic, yes, I do have some trauma. Last time I went, there was a lot of Disney adults, and we were trying to rope drop for Peter Pan's flight. And we were right in the front of the line, and
What's rope drop mean?
rope drop, it's when they have literally a rope, and they section off an area of the park where no one is yet. And so they have like a crowd of people just waiting for the rope to drop to run to their desired area.
Oh, okay, I see.
They do it in the morning. They do it after fireworks in certain areas of the parks. So we were at Fantasyland after the fireworks, and we were rope dropping for Peter Pan.
Got it.
And we were right in the front of the line, and the cast members came with the rope, and there was a bunch of cast members, and they looked terrified. Like, I wish I could show you the look on their faces. They were terrified. And we're standing there, I'm like, why do they look terrified? And a bunch of other cast members come and they're like, okay, we understand that you're very excited for these rides, but we have to remind you that safety is our #1 priority. Please walk, do not run, walk, do not run to the lines. Like, they did this whole presentation, and we were thinking, like, what the heck? Like, we're all adults here, right? Like, we know
Was
how
this
to
your first
walk.
rope drop?
Yes.
Okay, I have a feeling I know where this is going now.
So the rope drops, and so we're like speed walking to the line, and I get shoved. I kid you not. I get shoved by like this woman, and then my cousin gets shoved by this other woman who has her child. So she grabs her child, her 3-year-old child, and like shoves my cousin with the child.
Oh my God.
And she's like swinging her kid around, shoving people.
Oh.
And the worst part is that she wasn't getting on Peter Pan. She wasn't getting on Snow White. She was getting on Pinocchio.
Oh, what?
Like, who puts their child in the front of the line to defend
Oh my
Pinocchio?
I just got so excited because your story's awesome. First of all, thank you for sharing. Why? I guess this doesn't work when we have a Zoom guest. Okay, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to just cut into your story. We're excited to talk about a lot of things. We have a few more stories from Rainbow Press, which we'll do later. But I'm very, very, very honored and very excited to announce our next guest. She is our lifestyle correspondent. You may recognize her from her fame from the Friendsome and Then Some podcast, which she co-hosts with the amazing Michelle Arago and gorgeous JD Cargill. Bing. That's me. And she's now our official Friendsome and Then Some borrowed Gals, Gays, and Days lifestyle correspondent, and she's zooming in right now from somewhere fabulous. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your 2 hands together for Mindy Stearns. What?
Whoop.
Can I get a oh, look at you.
Nice.
Wow. Okay, we have to explain this for our podcast listeners. Podcast listeners, what we are looking at is one of the world's genuinely most beautiful women in about 500 purple ostrich feathers on a mask covering her gorgeous face. Mindy, what is up?
I had to bring the amazing face mask that our Friendsome and Then Some co-host Michelle got
that's
me last
right.
week, and I'm like, we're on this just fun cruise into the Bahamas. Went to Haiti, and there's fun dress up nights, and one was Midsummer Night's Dream. It was fantasy, and I'm like, I'm bringing my purple peacock feathers.
It's
a headdress
gorgeous.
and a collar, and I just wanted to throw it on and say, "Hi,
PP. We have to tell everybody what PP is, because otherwise we're just calling each other our PP, which you're not a PP.
Yeah, PP might be a little
PP, pretty princess.
You know, obviously we go way back. We go way back.
20 years
of KTLA.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And you were always my pretty princess.
Pretty princess. Yes.
Yep, pretty princess.
And so it contains PP for short, right?
It's the truth, and we love nicknames, because don't you notice when you have close friends and you start to go by nicknames, it's like, oh, those are really good friends. Like, you only go by nicknames with really, really good friends. Right, Melinda?
Yes.
Okay. So, Mindy, tell us okay, so you're on a cruise ship in the middle of the Caribbean right now. Are you on the ship? Are you on the coast, or where are you?
No, we're on the ship. We're shipping.
You're
Ship
shipping?
happens today. We're just having fun. We're just, we like to get away from the kids and family, and we just like to go see places of the world. And it's just, Glenn always likes to get the nice corners. So we have a lot of fun with that. And,
listen,
it's just,
we're here for it.
I love being on the.
We want to see your glamorous life. Can you give us a little pan of your suite, or show us over the
God.
balcony, or let's see?
Oh,
yes. Oh, hello. Horizontal.
Hello.
Landscape. That's so much better, by the way.
Is that better? Is that better?
Oh,
can you see better that way?
This
Here's
is
the room.
This is a ship room.
Whoa.
Okay, I just went on a Carnival cruise for New Year's 2 years ago. My room did not look like this.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
This is-
okay, so this exists.
Whoa.
It's a nice-
Holy moly.
Oh,
All
I'll
right.
show you. Let me show you this. Actually.
Please do. Oh gosh, God, you have to love technology.
That's
we're
gorgeous.
just.
I know the fact that she's on the middle of the
Oh my-
ocean somewhere, and we're able to zoom. That's
This is great.
Oh.
So your room goes out to this big balcony. Is this the back of the ship?
Yeah.
Wow.
Back of the ship.
Look at
So,
that sunset.
Literally,
Wow.
like if this was the Titanic, Rose and Jack would be right there, like
Right.
hanging out over that.
Rose and Jack.
Is that a private hot tub?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
This is so cool. Okay, for anybody listening on the podcast right now, we are looking at this gorgeous view of the Caribbean Ocean. You can see the wake from the back of the cruise ship. How big is this ship, man?
Oh gosh, I have no idea. I think there's like 1,200 people on board or
Okay.
something. I don't know how big.
So just a
It's,
little
there's
smaller
there's
than the
a lot of-
Minderella. Got it. The Minderella was Mindy and Glenn's old boat. Oh, I miss that ship. I mean, it's a yacht. But the stories from that.
Look at
Oh
that.
my
Wow.
gosh.
Wow.
Ah, my whole body is covered in
Yeah.
goosebumps.
I hope you're taking pictures of that.
It's so crazy, Mindy. This is
like a
exactly
tub.
the fantasy that I was thinking of when I
Yeah.
asked you to do this. So
Yeah.
we are living through you vicariously. What?
This is like cribs on the Caribbean.
Yes.
And the
Caribbean.
cribs. Oh yeah, this is.
Caribbean.
Wait, if it's called cribs when it's your house, what's it called when it's your ship?
This is
Ships.
Caribbean,
Ships.
I guess.
Boats, Caribbean. You're in the cribs. Cribs,
Boats and
Caribbean. Whenever they call you to dinner, does it sound like this, man? It's dinner time on the cruise ship.
Oh, that is so funny. Yeah, there's been some really great restaurants and oh my God, we had the best sushi last night on board. And it's nice when this is one of the suites. So you get like your own private restaurant and other people in this area the food is incredible. We always gain a little extra weight on board. We had a spa treatment and we're just, it's been a rough month here at the old Stearns household. So we decided to get away and this was one of the ways we did it. And,
Well, you
it's
deserve
nice
it.
to
That's
just
for
not-
sure.
To be on a boat, you don't have to worry about paying for.
It's so well. First of all, we all get to live through you vicariously, which is awesome. But also, we should say that as we do other tune-ins, as in the future, as our lifestyle correspondent tunes in with us, sometimes it'll be just wonderful vacation moments like this. But sometimes, you're on the board of the National Parks Association. Do a lot of charity work, philanthropic work. She's the chief kindness officer from Kind Lending, so we can join you for those fun kindness initiatives. I just love you, PP. It's so nice to see you calling in.
Too, but I've never been on a rope drop, whatever that is. That's one thing I've never done.
Oh my god.
So-
What exactly is a rope drop? It sounds like something you do like in the privacy of your bedroom, but
Right? I've dropped some rope. I laid some pipe and dropped some rope. What? I hadn't heard of it either, but I guess when you go to Disneyland every other year for your whole life, you learn about these things. And now I get it. It's like when they're holding an attraction off. The attraction's closed for now, but we're going to open soon because maybe the attraction was closed because the Fantasia fireworks were happening or whatever.
They do the rope drop every day at the start of the
and
when
so
the park
everyone
opens.
just line, and every day they probably say like, please be calm.
Main Street is
Everyone
open,
runs.
but Main Street is open, but the rest of the park isn't. So the rope is at the end of Main Street, then the rope drops, then you can go on the ride.
They're there at like 7 a.m. There's
It's
people
like
that have a
Black Friday
routine.
sale.
Yes,
Open the door.
exactly like a
People
Black Friday sale.
Fly out
Really?
here, wake up at like 5 a.m.
Wow.
to rope drop at Disneyland.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
ridiculous.
God, we should have.
I've
You
been
know
in
what?
front of that line
This
before.
reminds me of the last party I had where people were just gathered around outside waiting. No one showed up to my rope drop. There was no excitement. I was alone. So what kind of activities they have you doing on board? I know you said you had a costume party?
Well, every night there's like a fun theme. It's like neon is tonight, and we had Midsummer
fun.
Nights the other night. And so, people just, it's so fun to see how people dress up. People are like woodland creatures, and they have their little antlers, and they have flowers all over. Or people just get full neon head to toe, and it's just been, or it's all purple, or it's all colors, and it's just a fun way to get out. And then there's a great DJ on the pool deck, and people are all out. Just everybody's having a good time.
Oh, there's the DJ now.
Yeah.
What? Pool deck DJ. So,
It's a party.
is it romantic there? Or were you there for Valentine's Day? How long have you been there?
It was romantic. It's for us because it's a moment to be away from responsibility, if you will. We do a lot with the families, and there's been some health issues in the family, and we're just, the house is taken care of. So yeah, this is something I love being on the water. It's one of my favorite places is to be on the water, always moving somewhere. I just love to see the ocean going by and just where are we off to next. And I love the feel of the ocean, and it's just a place that calls my heart. So this is fun for us, and we just signed up for one to take our family to Australia, I think next year. So kids will come on that one, and it should, it's just a fun way to travel. A lot of people have said, there's a lot of people that haven't been on cruises, and I've heard a lot of places say, I don't want to be stuck on a cruise ship. I don't want to be on a boat with a bunch of people and I can't get off. But you get on these boats, and they are built like the most incredible hotel. There's great shopping. There's a casino on board. We went and played some blackjack. We have incredible comedy entertainment. This comedian has just been killing it, and entertainment. And you get these great shows and dance and talent. There's great restaurants on board. And then you go into ports and you can get off and see places. We went to Cuba one year when Cuba was just opening. And that was exciting because, Cuba has been not available to tourism. And there was a little window when we were in Cuba, and it was literally the same day we were on land and touring around the streets of Cuba. And the only way you could get there was on a cruise ship, but they got Wi-Fi in the country that day. Like the only time they'd ever had it before was you had to go to a Wi-Fi cafe, and that's the only way you could be connected. And that day, everyone got Wi-Fi outside a cafe. It was kind of a really exciting time for Cuba. But just being in these places and seeing these cultures and being able to kind of immerse yourself in a place, that you wouldn't normally access. But I don't know, I just love being on a boat and cruising into a harbor, and you're docking, and here you are into a new land, and you just can see so many places. And you meet people at dinners. You sit at dinners and you meet new people from across the globe, from international. And I don't know, for us, it's been really fun. We're social people. We enjoy it. Or you can just hang out in your room and enjoy the ocean going by. You don't have to go see people. So, I highly recommend it. Have you even done it in your life? I highly recommend it.
I am a big fan. I tell you, I've only ever been on one luxury cruise besides you and your yacht, which to me was the best boat I've ever been on. But
that was pretty.
Oh gosh! In fact, you know what's crazy? Small world. Guess who's coming in today to be on the show? Rosie Acosta.
Is it Miss Rose?
Yes, Rosie, soon to be not soon to be. She is author, soon to be best-selling author. We hope, because her book's coming out in just a few days on 2/22/22.
Lovely. 2/22.
But she, for those that don't know, Rosie Acosta and I are dear friends. Mindy and I are dear friends, and it just worked out that I was at a 2 or 10-day yoga retreat with Rosie that she was hosting in Thailand. And at the same time, Mindy was in Bali on their yacht with friends, and it just worked out perfect for after the retreat for Rosie and I to jump on a plane, go over to just from Thailand to Bali, and hang out for like 4 or 5 days. Oh, it was paradise.
That was amazing.
I was chubby.
Well, you are lucky to have her. Such a special person, such a soul, such a soul of beauty and light. Like Rosie is a really special person, and she's aptly named too, because she is all that, all roses.
She is. I'm really excited for her to come in to talk about the book because, she is one of those stories where it wasn't always so rosy, and now she's been able to turn lemons into lemonade in her life, and I think that's such an inspiration for so many of us. Oh man, I wish I could just pick us up and put us there. Go ahead.
I mean, just saying, like, the whole idea of life is gritty, and for anyone to think it's going to be anything, less than that or not that, it's a good way to approach life, knowing that you are going to go through grit and you are going to get through it, and you're going to create a new story. And every time you go through something painful and something challenging, you write another deeper, more interesting chapter of your book. And just knowing that you can write the next page, and knowing you are going to get beyond this, and knowing that this too shall pass, whatever hard time it is in that moment, we all go through that. And it's such a reason to hang on for the ups, because when you're in a roller coaster, find someone to hold on to so that you can ride to the top, and then you can hold hands. And then when that roller coaster goes and hits the low, at least you're holding on with someone you love, and you can go, woo, let's go. We know there's another up coming, but let's just ride this down and get through it, and it's just, life is wonderful when you have beautiful friends and support like you're one to me.
Oh,
and
I love you so much.
Dirty, it's messy and beautiful.
It is. And the way you said that is so perfect. When life deals you some rough cards or some bad times, know that you're writing one of the more interesting chapters of your life, probably, because it's true how you get out of those. I mean, could you imagine watching a movie about somebody and it's like, oh, their life was always perfect. What a wonderful movie that would make.
The Truman Show.
Very boring story.
Very
without
boring.
Antagonist or a conflict or some challenge that needs to be addressed. That's what makes movies incredible. That's what makes books interesting. The pain of, oh my God, how are they going to get through this? And, life doesn't have a Hollywood ending. It's a Hollywood story. It always happens. And there's always new chapters being written. It's a series that will, one day it will end and come to a conclusion, and hope that you had really interesting episodes throughout your life, and that those challenges got you through to make you get you to a place you're on the other side and go, that was a great story. Let me tell you about the time that this happened. And that it's always going to be a good story. And Glenn has always said that when we're in the middle of muck and it's gritty and things are bad, like, whew, this is going to make a great story one day, So just if you adopt that mindset, just instead of looking at it like, oh my God, how am I ever going to get out of this? It will pass, and it will be a great story.
It's a little.
One day.
It reminds me of one of the hugest life disappointments you had was when we met, and you really wanted to date me.
Yeah, I had to get through that.
It was back in 1999. It really was. It was 2000. And I want to tell this story just because it's going to what you're saying, which is, sometimes the things, and this is a huge theme here. Thank you for bringing up this topic, man, because in a way, if you think about it, Gals, Gays, and Days is all about providing a safe place for marginalized people, anybody who's ever felt on the outside to belong, right? And I certainly, when you and I first met, I was still in the closet. Like barely, but I was technically not out because I thought, you were the entertainment report. She worked at Entertainment Tonight, and then she was the main evening entertainment news anchor for KTLA News, which is the second biggest market in the country. So I was like, wow, I couldn't believe that I got to work so quickly underneath you, and not literally underneath you, but when I got there, I thought I was going to be like, I don't know what I thought, but I thought if people knew that I was gay, that it was going to not be good for my career, that I wouldn't be accepted, and I wouldn't be able to work on camera or anything like that. And it just blows my mind now to realize that's the best part of me. Like, it's like being gay is my superpower. It's the at first when you hurt and that turns into something beautiful, it becomes like a superpower. And now, I mean, I lean in hard to it, obviously. I don't know if you're noticing the rainbows around here.
Not really.
Well, I provided some of that rainbow. I love me some rainbow.
But it gets better. And that's what your point was if you're going through something tough right now, if you're, watching this show right now and you're seeing, gosh, how wonderful it is to be on a cruise, or how fun it must be to be in this studio with these friends. That can be your life. If you're going through something tough right now, know that things get better. And we hope to be like a shining example of what it can be like when things do get better, but also talk about things candidly and honestly and filled with love. What is on your agenda for tonight?
I think one thing to remember, like the rainbow celebrates, it's such a symbol of hope and love and, acceptance. But there isn't a rainbow in nature that doesn't exist without a storm, without the rain, without the clouds. And so
what about like a beautiful waterfall and the mist goes over? I think I've seen some nice rainbows.
You've got to embrace the rain and the powerful essence of whatever that storm that was, or the clouds that form, or the mist that can shroud your vision at time. Because just when the light turns right, that rainbow emerges. And I think that's what we all are. We're all just, we're storm clouds, and sometimes we're creating a rainbow. Sometimes we're crying the rain, so it's just to acknowledge and accept all aspects of what that rainbow means. And that's what makes it so beautiful and encompassing and, accepting. And so I'm very much drawn to that story and that spectrum. So, but tonight, let's see. Well, tonight's about a neon rainbow. It's neon night. So I have a very hot pink, like your nice neon sign. It's going to be a hot pink wig with hot pink shoes. It's all hot pink tonight. So
I love it. I bet you're so excited. It's so much fun. And I know you said you get to meet a lot of friends while you're there. Do you guys have friends on the cruise ship with you, or are you just making friends, like new friends?
You know what? We don't know one on this one. We have gone before. We've known people, and we don't know anybody this time. And we've just we've met some people from different places around the world. Some are from Europe, some are from the United States, many from Canada, some from Mexico. It's a real plethora of people. And but it was, it's kind of a short cruise, so we kind of been relaxing a lot, just kind of laying low, because we go to the little pool party with our costumes and watch the show, but then it's like sleep until noon. It feels so good.
Oh man, that sounds so nice. Doesn't that sound so nice?
Sounds really nice.
Oh, you deserve it. You guys have been going through it. It's, when you love your friends and you want to see them happy, I genuinely am so happy for the two of you to be able to relax after, you've been Florence Nightingale for the last 2 months. Like, isn't she the most famous nurse, like from the Nurse Nightingale?
Oh, yes. Yeah. So, and hopefully Papa G is going to be okay. He just went through it. My father-in-law has been in the hospital for over a month with COVID and COVID pneumonia. He's 81 and he was just intubated last Friday. So we are praying. He just received a 3-day infusion of stem cells for a clinical trial that is hoping to do some repair on the lungs. So we're praying he gets extubated and can breathe and get strong and get through this. They said it's going to be a very long haul. This, we know Michelle had her own bout with it. It can do a number on your body and your health and your lungs, and especially for an 81-year-old man with, some emphysema, it's going to be a long journey. So we're just going to be hopeful that he can come out of that.
Everything's going to be great. He's going to be great. I just feel it. And I'm so glad that he has such a wonderful, loving family to support him through this time. Actually, that was one of the questions that popped up in our live chat, was someone asking, what has it been like on a cruise right now, given the pandemic? Is there like really strict regulations? What pandemic?
What pandemic? You would not. Everyone had to show a vaccine card. Everyone had to show a negative test before you got on board. And they've got sanitation stations everywhere. You sanitize your hands everywhere you go. They have masks when you go in the theater where there's big crowds. They have masks in certain areas. But, every single person had to be clear of COVID and vaccinated. So I guess that's what they're doing, their part to keep people safe. So I feel pretty good here. I don't know. I haven't felt, there's just, it's fun. It's so nice to gather and be around people and feel somewhat normal again, with a few things in place and a new steps in place for safety. But it's kind of the new normal, if you will. And it does feel nice to gather and mingle with people and feel like there was a little check that said, okay, we got cleared. We're not, everyone's COVID negative and we're vaccinated. So that's kind of a comfort, if you will.
It is. It is.
So.
It is until that new variant comes out and you're stuck on that boat for 3 months. And then you're not to put that into the world.
Knock on wood.
Oh my goodness. Why did I say that? But I know I've been invited onto 2 cruises during the pandemic, and I didn't accept either because right before the pandemic started, shout out to Lori. We have a dear friend who's planning to have her whole 50th on a cruise, the new Scarlet Lady from Virgin, Richard Branson's thing. We're so excited. I know a lot of us have credits and we're still going to go on that. I hope we still get to go. But it was supposed to be to Cuba at first, and then Trump, I think, shut down the ability for cruise ships to go to Cuba. So we had to switch. We were going to... the
big mess.
Something else. Like we were going to go to Richard's private island. I was so excited about that trip. And then the pandemic came, shut it all down. And then we thought, this pandemic's only going to be here for a little bit. And then it was a little bit longer and a little bit longer. And eventually I was like, I don't know about booking a cruise right now because I don't want to get all excited about something and then not have it happen. And even more disappointing, spend a bunch of money that is now, I guess that money that we've spent is just kind of floating out there. It's a credit. So it's good for the future. Riveting stuff. Hey, I want you to make sure that we have our, whole wonderful group of people here in the room, Mariah and Becky and DeMarcus. Does anybody have a question for the illustrious Mindy, who is on a cruise ship? She's on a cruise ship in the Caribbean, folks. This is your chance.
Not much to say here.
Oh my gosh. You see any aliens over there? Bermuda Triangle?
Uh-oh.
No alien. No, but I did there was a nice full moon last night, the night before.
If they brought back Princess Diaries, would you make a reappearance?
Oh, I love that. Do we have an asset ready? We should have had that ready.
I know, we should have.
For anybody that doesn't know, Mindy Stearns used to be Mindy Burbano. And so if you check your IMDb screen, you will find that she was the star of Gary Marshall's Princess Diaries. Yes.
What?
Yes.
Nice.
Well, she starred in it.
I wasn't the star.
You were a co-star.
I was not I was in. I wouldn't say I starred. I was in it. I had a couple appearances in it.
You were the lesbian softball coach.
Oh,
right?
I was a softball.
Was it known that she was a lesbian, or was that just in your character development?
See?
I'm making a terrible joke about lesbians and softball. I'm sorry. But you were the softball coach. And to this day, when people find out who you are and they are of a certain age, they just melt. It's like, that is a lot of people's favorite movie. You know that, right? The Princess Diaries.
It's definitely my mom and I's.
Say that again.
Anne Hathaway, that was her big breakout role, was The Princess Diaries. No one knew who she was before that. And I remember when Gary brought her to a softball game before we started filming. And I'm like, what? She's just so unassuming. And she was very sweet and very, just kind of very natural and seemed really nice. And then here she is, like one of the world's biggest stars now. It was something to meet her back then. And for me, the dream was working with the iconic Julie Andrews. I mean, to be like side by side on screen with Mary freaking Poppins, I was losing my mind. It was very exciting.
It is exciting.
Cool.
It is exciting. We don't talk about that enough, actually. If you think about it, that's such a fun.
Cool. I had to bring it up.
I know, because you're the one too. Every time that we're talking about, I just love her in Princess Diaries.
I do. My mom and I, it's like our favorite movie. It's like one we watch together all the time. So. And
here, for people that don't know this, it was a perfect casting, right? To play a softball coach, Mindy was the only woman on her high school men's baseball team, right, Min?
Baseball.
Really?
Yes.
So she was.
Yes. Gary had said, had he known me when he was casting the film A League of Their Own, he would have put me in that film. Wow. And I was like, I would have been with Madonna and Rosie O'Donnell. That would have been so incredible.
I'm crying in baseball.
But, what a legend. Oh.
Yeah, that's why I got the role.
The late great. Yeah. That's awesome. I know you would have been perfect for it too, between your personality and your looks and your baseball skills. Gary Marshall would have been lucky to have you. Gary Marshall, the late great director and brother of Penny Marshall, another late great director. Boy, are we getting old, or are people just?
Yeah.
So
You know what?
sad.
I recommend a good book. If there's a good book you want to read, Gary Marshall was really iconic in creating so much of like American television with Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley, Mork and Mindy, and then, you know, all these great movies like Valentine's Day, Frankie and Johnny, The Princess Diaries, and so many other great movies. And he writes a book called Wake Me When It's Funny. And it's probably one that it talks about how he discovered Robin Williams and Julia Roberts and all the funny things, and Michelle Pfeiffer and the things that when he worked with them. It's such a good read. If you want a really light story about how he created his success and the people that he discovered along the way. It's just really great read. Wake Me When It's Funny.
Wake Me When It's Funny.
Writing
I'm gonna
it
write that down.
Yeah, I'm writing it down.
That's a good. Everybody in the studio is making a note of that because it sounds really good, and we're all entertainment enthusiasts.
Yes.
This is fantastic. This is fantastic, PP. I really, really appreciate you doing this. I'm looking at the time. Oh, and we hit that mark just perfect, didn't we? You taught me everything I know about news, everything I know about being yourself on TV. I thank you so much for that and love you from all trillion cells in my body.
Right?
That's right. Our favorite thing, Mindy would do the segments that I would produce at KTLA, and we would say my famous line. And I think RuPaul stole it from me, but I used to always say, Mindy, don't fuck it up. And you never did.
Right.
She's the one-hit wonder. That's what we would call her.
Yeah.
Mindy Burbano Stearns. I got to throw that Burbano in there.
I love you.
I love you too so much. I think now we're going to be going to a mindful moment, which is another one of our great quotes to celebrate Black History Month. But before we go, Min, do you mind just walking back over to that view and showing us a little sunset?
I think the sun has already. Oh, hold on. I do have a little bit of a sun. A little bit of the sun dropping. Here it goes. See if I can give you. See, turn it around. You're going to get the last of the
this
sun
is it.
as it drops.
Wow.
See.
So that,
You're looking at the Caribbean
It's still
Sea.
there.
Literally, it is. We're
Wow.
watching the sunset. Let's just take a moment.
Wow.
This is about being present. The sun is literally setting over this gorgeous.
Oh,
Look at.
see the sun rays coming
gonna
up.
go.
It's hard to see, but wow.
Believe it or
It
not,
is
it's showing up
so-
perfect on our screen at that little dot. Oh,
Thank
it's about to
you.
go.
Little Mermaid just popped in my head right now. Before the sun sets on the third day.
Exactly. You've all don't underestimate the power of body language. Boom, 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 boom.
Winter is coming.
You look beautiful, Mindy. Have so much fun at the neon party tonight.
Love you guys.
We love
I
you.
love you.
Mwah. Thank you for that amazing report. And now we're gonna bye,
Bye,
honey bun. Bye, everybody.
Bye, Mindy.
Yay! Oh, there you go. You got a little cat call on your way out. And we are now going to this. Here we go. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Here in just a moment, we are going to be joined by the illustrious Rosie Acosta and celebrating her new book, You Are Radically Love, which is going to be coming out very soon. But before that, I just wanted to go back for one more story that we kind of didn't get to with the Rainbow Press, and it's particularly important to me. We talk about funny things here, but we also talk about serious things. And I don't know that a lot of people realize this, but prior to 2015, sexually active gay men could not donate blood to the Red Cross, to anywhere, because the FDA controls the rules and regulations around blood donation. In 2015, it was changed so that gay men could donate blood, gay and bisexual men, but only if they'd been celibate for a year. And in 2020, that was once again changed to 3 months. So now, gay and bisexual, sexually active men who have had sex with other men within the last 90 days are not allowed to donate blood. It's a rule by the FDA, which is coming under fire by a lot of LGBTQ organizations, by actually the Red Cross and the blood donation centers of the world in the United States, because the FDA is the one who regulates the rules. And yours truly. This is a bit of contention with me. Like, it's really discriminatory if you think about it, and it hurts. I should be able to donate blood the same way anybody should be able to donate blood. Get this. Here's why this is particularly annoying to me. Even, because this is an honor system, right? Anybody could go in and lie. I didn't even know this was a rule. I donated blood all the time back in the day. I didn't know. When I was in college, I was doing all kinds of sexually active stuff, and I was definitely donating blood. I used to donate blood literally to get tested. I'd be like, oh, thank God I came back. I know this is probably not like the great thing. But yeah. So
because they have screenings.
Exactly. Yeah, because they have technology to screen the blood. Now, scientists will tell you that the technology has really advanced, but you still need, there still can be about a 10-day period where if a person did contract HIV, because that's really what we're talking about. Right. The blood does not want to be contaminated. We don't want the blood to be contaminated, but it's not just gay guys contaminating blood. It's like there's a lot of people who contract HIV, not just gay men. And sure, maybe the majority still is. I looked up the statistics. I don't know if you guys know this, but thank God HIV is really on the decline. Hallelujah. But there are still over 1 million people in the United States living with HIV. I think 1.2 million. And in 2019, which I believe the statistics come out, if you go to hiv.gov, hiv.gov, they come out every 4 years. And then 2019 was the last year they did it. And it was 34,700, something like that, new HIV infections in the country. And yes, like 65 to 70% of them are reportedly between male to male transmission. But the testing for blood is so strong now that you could totally have gay men donate blood, keep it, test it, as long as it's been under that 10-day period. It's on the honor system. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
There's a quote that I wrote down. It is from Jay, I think, Franzone. He's like an LGBT activist. He's a gay man. In 2017, he remained abstinent for a year to donate blood, but he said, they can change the policy even temporarily, and they can do so today. The only thing stopping them is bigotry and fear. Yep. And that's so true. We're in a shortage right now. If they really wanted to, they could even temporarily change the policy.
And what would that do? Did you see that statistic? Tell me.
No,
360. Let me look it up.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
So it's estimated that if gay men were allowed to donate blood, sexually active gay men, that they could increase the blood supply by 360,000 units within the first year. That's a lot of, and could save up to 1 million lives.
Good God.
Because one donation does not just help one person. Sometimes it helps several people.
Right.
Yeah.
So think about that, FDA. If someone's watching this and knows someone from the FDA, please send them the link.
Right.
Listen, we want what's right for the world. We don't want people to get blood-borne diseases. Nobody wants that. But if you make a policy about blood donation that is rooted in sexual orientation rather than in risk, it's a problem. It is a problem. You know why? Because get this. If you dig a little bit deeper, they are trying to be woke. They're trying to wake up a little bit. They're trying to say, we recognize that gender identity and sexual biology are not always one and the same. But if you dig a little bit, a trans woman who may still biologically have her male genitalia could be sexually active with her partner, but since she identifies as a woman, she can still donate blood, even though she has the same body parts as me and my partner.
Yeah, that doesn't make any
sense.
sense.
Exactly. So there's so much murkiness in this little swamp that it needs to be cleaned up. And the thing about it too is there is such a demand for blood right now. They are having decades low. Like, how many decades has it been since they had this low supply?
I think it's been a decade.
And one day, a critical supply use.
And the Biden administration released this is a crisis.
Right.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I'm grateful that I'm seeing some people pushing to get people out to donate. People should. It's a life. It's so true what they say. You donate blood, the life you save could be your own.
Right.
Because you never know what blood you're going to get if you have an accident or someone you love.
Yeah.
So get your heads out of your ass, FDA, and figure it the F out. Because we gay men who, and by the way, if I was with my same partner for a decade,
right,
they still won't let you.
Right.
You could be monogamous in a relationship. You know how disturbing that is?
They say specifically, this is a quote, "This rule applies to gay and bisexual men who are monogamous and who have tested HIV negative and are practicing safe sex."
Yeah.
So it's this specific group of people can donate blood if they wait 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
But isn't this the group of people that we should, they're monogamous?
It's exactly
isn't
right.
This the group
and
that
it's the honor
be,
system.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, what happens if I go in with my rainbow jumper and my rainbow flag and I said, "Hi, I'm here to donate blood.
Can you do this, please?" And videotape
and they're like, "Are you homosexual?" And I'm like, "No." Can I donate? Exactly. It's an honor system. So that is even more infuriating.
Yeah.
It's of course, you want all people to be treated equal. I know there are biological differences and there are different statistics around bloodborne diseases and things. But at the end of the day, these policies need to be equalized amongst all people. Otherwise, they're discriminatory and bigoted. So please, FDA, figure it out.
I should do a skit where I walk in there and do that, and I'm dressed up.
Hidden cam.
You should.
I should.
Yeah.
Have a hidden cam.
Literally, I could go in there holding my boyfriend's hand, making out on the couch, and they're like, "Have you had sex with a man in the last 3 months?" I'm like, "No." "Have you?" "Why are you asking?" No, and it's none of your effing business either. Right. That is why that is such a ridiculous thing. It's every drop of blood in this country better be tested for everything to make sure it's safe. And how you get that blood should require protocol around risk factor, not around individual sexual orientation. Okay.
Yes.
I'm done.
Period.
Wow. What's the best? That's what you get, FDA. Figure it out. I feel like we heard something happen just a moment ago, and did you hear that doorbell? That sounds like somebody is here. It's very exciting. Who could it be? Oh, look who it is, everybody. It is Rosie Acosta. What? Applause. Yay. Grab your headphones. They're on that hook right there. We're going to get Rosie all situated right now. But while she's getting all situated and looking look at this woman. Is this not I just can't. I'm so blessed. Life is good when you can call Rosie Acosta amongst your best friends. True story. Oh, this is going to be fun.
This is very exciting.
I know. Let's make sure that your mic is on and that your levels are nice and high so that everybody.
Test.
Look at that.
JB, what is this?
We love it. We love it. Here, this is for you.
COVID safe.
Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, actually, laddies and gentlewomen. This is our new catchphrase. I'm introducing it right now. Laddies and gentlewomen, humans of all ages, please put your two hands together for Rosie Acosta. What? Yay! Rosie is more than just a dear friend of ours, and she's more than just a client here at Mod Pod with her amazing lifestyle podcast, Radically Loved Radio.
Yes. Well, no, it's just the Radically Loved podcast.
The Radically Loved
We've changed
podcast.
it 5 times. It's fine.
It's you know why? Because
fine.
why not?
I mean,
why not? Life is dynamic. Life
yeah.
is ever changing. Why shouldn't the name of your podcast be there too?
Yeah, I like being fluid.
And speaking of that podcast, do you want to talk about fluidity?
Oh,
Do you want to talk about fluids?
we'll talk about everything if you want.
I love that look in your eye.
I'm like, oh,
Dun, dun,
okay.
dun.
Is this PG-13 or
This
rated
is
R?
not PG-13.
Okay, good.
We
That's
are
fine.
restricted to adults and people who have a lot of emotional intelligence.
My people have arrived.
Dun-dun-dum. I really got to learn these things faster because every time I want to push a button, so
Oh my god, that was a little bit of a delay. But okay, yeah, let's do
that's
it.
the appropriate sound effect when you're announcing soon-to-be New York Times best-selling author,
God.
putting that into the universe.
Yes.
From your mouth to God's ears.
Rosie's amazing journey with her podcast, her blog, her newsletter, her lifestyle brand, her destination yoga and wellness retreats. All of it has come together this moment. If you're looking at the screen, podcast listeners, you would be seeing the cover of a gorgeous book. You Are Radically Loved, A Healing Journey to Self-Love by Rosie Acosta, host of the Radically Love podcast. Oh, I got goosebumps all
my God.
over. I'm going to push on this button. I'm pushing this button. I'm pushing this button. And I'm going to
Button overload.
Wow,
all of
wow. Wow. Oh,
So-
and even that's wonderful.
Of course, you don't just get to write a soon-to-be best-selling New York Times book by just showing up. You really have to have a story. And this is something, you know who you just missed, by the way?
Who?
And she was singing your praises. One Mindy Stearns.
Oh, I love Mindy. Oh,
She-
fun. I miss her.
She came to us via Zoom from the Caribbean Ocean, where
Of course she did.
Big shocker there. And we talked about the last time we were all in an ocean together.
Yes,
over on the other
that
side
was
of the
exciting.
world.
Actually, I just saw I found those pictures earlier, yesterday morning, because I'm working on some archiving, and I found those pictures. And
We were just looking at those pictures earlier, trying to
Yeah.
find a quick one for this segment, but then it was just running out of time. But we have your pictures up and your
Yeah.
story, and I've teased it a little bit now. So I know you just can't write a book. So Mindy was saying when she was on, like, I don't know how we even got on this topic, but she's saying, you got to embrace life's ups and downs because it's the story of your life, and it's a much more interesting story when you have had some disappointments and
Yeah.
some setbacks because who wants to read a book where someone's life just went great the whole time and that was it?
No, it's boring.
It's boring. Your life hasn't been great the whole time.
No.
No. And I mean, not to do a hard shift there,
No,
but
I
the
know,
book
like, oh.
starts off and tells your story about growing up during the very tumultuous time here in Los
Yes.
Angeles. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think that for everybody, anybody out there who has ever had a desire to write a book, you included, most people, I'm sure there's some people out there that think that their life is book worthy and TV worthy and
Everybody
and
in this
story-worthy.
room does.
But most of the time people think that their story isn't noteworthy because it's mundane. It's mundane to them and they live it every day, and so they don't really find anything exciting about it. And so I definitely didn't think it was interesting for a long time. I thought because you grow up in an environment where in the early 90s, it was East LA during at the height of LA gang violence and
The Rodney King beating and all
yeah,
that.
yep. And it was just par for the course for everybody to be growing up in that environment. It wasn't just, one person or being in a situation where a week was really bad. It was
Right.
pretty bad most of the time, and everybody else's life was the same. So you maybe experiencing a drive-by shooting or seeing somebody get shot or stabbed, it wasn't like it was
normalized.
It was normalized.
It felt,
and
which is scary.
yeah, we'd go to school the next day, and I'm like in second grade, and we're talking about the drive-by shooting that was just outside our house or in our neighborhood, and it was just like a normal thing.
I think we have a young photo of you from
you do?
these years.
Oh,
we can show our video audience.
Let's see.
So this little girl.
Oh, just kidding. Yes, that was like my teen. These are my teen years. That's like 13-year-old Rosie.
So are you in the left or the right here?
That's me on the. Well, we're looking at the right. The one with the wearing all black. The other one's my friend Valerie. My frenemy.
Cute.
Your friend. Oh, we know We know the phrase well.
Yeah, frenemy. Like this is a separate topic, but man, I hope she's not watching this.
I can almost guarantee she is not.
Yeah. Okay.
Since it's my mom, it's Maria, and it's like 8 friends from college.
That's amazing. Yeah, she was mean. She would fight with me and stop talking to me, but then we had this like really codependent relationship, and she would just randomly stop talking to me, and finally my sister, my older sister, said that, oh, she probably just has a crush on you.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say she definitely liked you.
Yeah. No, she would, and I was like, down for whatevs.
I mean, do you know about her story now? Did she?
I don't know. She ended up. Actually, her mom was really ill. I think she had cancer or something. And I think by the time, that was junior high. So by the time we got to high school, I went to a different school than she did. And I think she ended up moving away somewhere. I don't really know. But
well, hopefully wherever she is, they sell You Are Radically Loved.
Right, so she can
buy the book. Buy the book, girl. You got a photo with her. You could be famous.
Oh my God. But yeah, it was a chaotic time, and also a fun time. It's weird to look back and think when people have been asking me, I've been doing the circuit, right? Doing interviews for this. And what's interesting to me as an interviewer and as somebody who has a podcast has been the questions that people are deciding to ask me about, like the things that keep coming up. Out of, the 60,000 words or whatever are here, people are really interested in that growing up story. And I talk about it some in the book, but not as much as you would think,
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I obviously talk about getting arrested and...
What did you get arrested for? This is worth listening to, folks.
Literally.
Let her cautionary tale be your guide, especially if you're a younger person or have a younger kid.
Oh my
Sorry,
God.
just throwing that out there. It's not like a big deal. I mean,
right? No, it's really not.
I'm impressed with it.
Yeah, no,
honest.
it's not a big deal. And
I had a run-in with the police when I was 5. I'll tell you about that later.
Oh my God, you need to tell me
story.
right after.
Okay.
So it wasn't actually. It was probably the 3rd time I got arrested, but I got in big trouble. Like the first 2 times I got arrested were for just one of them was vandalism, and then the other one was for like terrorist threats. And then the 3rd time I got arrested was for trying to steal a cop car.
Shoplifting. Whoa. Essentially. An entire cop car.
It's pretty badass.
That is badass.
Respect to that. Respect.
Did you hear my what?
No, I didn't hear.
What?
Oh.
You stole a cop car?
Well, I didn't. I wasn't successful.
No,
I got arrested. It was attempted GTA.
Damn.
Grand Theft Auto.
That is
Before
so
Grand Theft Auto
cool.
was in the game.
But I feel
Yeah, I
like
was gonna
this
say.
is your turning point. Like it ends
Yes.
up becoming a turning point,
That's
which
right.
is what we also like to
You're so
focus
good.
on.
What's
story.
the 5-year-old story? Can you just tell me that real quick?
Okay, so my mom will appreciate this story.
Hi, Anita.
Hi, Mom. So when I was 5, my mom and my dad divorced when I was about 4.5 or 5, right around this time. There was only a very small window of time when I lived without a man in the house, because it went from my mom and dad to my mom and my new stepdad, who she met like a year later. But in that window, I was about 5 years old, and we lived in the outskirts of Barstow, which is funny to think Barstow has a suburb, because Barstow is, if you don't know, if you're listening from South Africa, be glad you don't know where Barstow is. Nah, I knock on Barstow, but I love it. It made me who I am. But Linwood is the name of this little outskirts town, and we lived there, and my best friend at the time was a 6-year-old down the street named Rocky. And I started reading, I guess, when I was like 3. My mom put me in preschool, and it was a program. But Rocky wasn't a big reader, and he and I were out and about in the neighborhood, and we found what we thought to be just like a treasure trove of things that were there waiting for us. And so breaking a window to get into this treasure trove did not seem unusual or odd.
There it is.
And that isn't even it. And then shimmying through, I also was kind of a leader, even though I was young. And I was
Of course
like,
you were.
You got to boost me up. We got to come with a plan. And then we get into the place, and we're so excited because it's just like paint and tools. And I mean, it's some guy's garage, but it was backed up to a wall that was on an alley. And so we could climb the wall, get to the window, and get in.
Oh my God, Jamie.
And it just seemed like when you're a kid, it's like, that's a treasure trove of stuff. And we got in, and we just started taking the stuff that we wanted back to our house in the yard. And then we found this spray paint. And because we were genius 5 and 6 year olds, we thought, what can we spray paint on the side of this big wall that is the wall we climbed on to break in? So the perfect crime did not happen because the thing we chose to write on the wall was our names.
JD.
True story. And my friend could not spell, so I did all the writing.
Oh, no.
I had all the paint on my finger, the black paint. And literally, if we had just not done that, we would have gotten away with everything. But since we left our names on the side of the wall, under the broken window and the missing stuff, we were found out. The police were called. And if it had been any other day, I probably would never have lived it down. But my mom was working a triple at Santa Fe Railroad. And she could not leave. It was some bad situation. And they had a bunch of people call out, she was a supervisor. She just couldn't leave. The only reason that she could leave was a family emergency if the hospital or the police called. And the police called. So she got out of her triple. She got home. She was so tired. I'm there terrified. This cop is standing right over me. And he says, it's really concerning to us that this is the direction that you're headed down. Do you understand what's happened here today? What kind of future do you think you have if this is what do you want to be when you grow up? And my mom loves the story because I just looked up at 5 and said, a cop. A police officer. I want to be a police officer.
Amazing.
Wow. So I was a brown noser even back then. I did not get in trouble. The cop left it to my mom to punish me, which did not happen because she went to bed. And that was that. Yay!
Wow.
And honestly, it was so terrifying though. It really did. It did a trick on me.
Wow.
We laugh now, almost 20 years later, but 40 years later. But it did instill in me a really important and valuable lesson, which was, if you break into a place, don't write your name in spray paint underneath the broken window.
Right.
Wow,
Because it's no bueno.
No.
You'll be found out.
Yeah, that is such a great story.
Thanks.
I love that. I didn't know that about you.
My one brush with the police. Actually, that's not my only. I also spent a night in the drunk tank in WeHo once. That's on a future episode, though.
Yes.
I'll give you that tea later. I know you're all about the buttons. So I want to. Every time someone's coming here to push a book, we want them to read an important passage. Did you choose a passage?
No.
Before, do you want me to choose one for you? I opened it up to self-esteem a little while ago, which seemed
that's nice.
Falling forward, be willing to learn.
You pick whatever you want.
I like this.
This is
All right. So
everything's
each
good in
chapter, it is good. You'd think that I would have read it already before your appearance today, but
being
this is
as
the
there
first
is a
time
Mod
I'm
Pod shout out in here.
Shut your whole face. Well, that's what I want you to read. Where's that? Is that in the acknowledgments?
Yeah, it's right here.
Oh my God.
Right here, JD Cargill and Mod Pod.
Page 191.
Stop.
Get out.
That's so mean.
I mean, there's a lot of names, to be fair.
Oh my God, JD.
God.
I'm just kidding. That is so nice. Oh my God, I got more goosebumps. That is really, really sweet. Thank you for giving me that shout out. I actually have been lucky enough over the years to be kind of mentioned in two or three books.
No,
but
you have not. Actually, this is the first time.
I stand corrected. She knows, and I'm wrong.
Rosie knows all.
That's right.
And gentlemen, if you want to know how to please a lady, this is the gay guy to talk to.
Oh my goodness.
You just do what I just did. I'm sorry. You're right.
I have a passage actually.
Okay,
it's
perfect.
About perspective. It's on page number 15. And this is my abuelita story, who basically raised my older sister and I because my parents worked all the time.
I love that.
So this is in the first chapter that's called You Are Radically Supported. This passage, the little subhead is perspective. My abuelita planted roses in a tiny makeshift garden in front of our apartment. I loved watching her tend to her flowers and herbs every morning before school. She would water and talk to them. One day as she prepared me for school, we walked out the front door and her roses, herbs, and plants were scattered all over the ground, completely destroyed. I braced for her sadness as she held my hand. She bent down and picked up a handful of dirt and in Spanish said, "Look, they left the seeds. They will grow again." She carried on sweeping the dirt as we made our way down the corridor. When I came home, she had replanted. As she fixed my dinner that same night, I sat on the counter and listened to her agitation. The people who did this have no respect, which means they have no respect for themselves. They make idiotic choices, and they will never amount to anything. Plants are like people. They can be torn apart, but they will always grow back.
I love that. Aww.
Wow.
That is really sweet. And your abuelita was very important to you.
Yeah, she
as
was.
mine.
Yeah.
In my similar story, my mom, and dad worked a lot or traveled a little bit when I was growing up, and grandma often got the babysitting duties. That's how I learned how to speak Spanish a little bit. And yeah, our abuelitas are very special to us.
Yeah, so sacred little beings.
I have a sense that that there's so many different things I could ask you about. First of all, I could say that you're a beautiful man, Tori. Shout out to Tori.
Yeah, shout out to
this
Tor.
photo. Aw, which I guess we can just throw back up because we have the asset.
Oh, right.
Oh, there's
Oh.
Tori. Oh, even better
hello.
asset. Good grief, this is a good picture. Okay, anybody listening on the podcast, you need to go to YouTube right now, watch the video of this podcast as well. We are live streaming too, so people who are watching live can see on their screen a gorgeous photo of
That is
Tori
so nice.
and Rosie. This looks like you guys are guests at a wedding. Or
We
something.
are.
Yes.
We're at our friend Whit's wedding in Montana.
I
First
love that
time.
jacket.
that
That
does-
jacket is amazing.
Right?
Well,
He did a good job.
and shout out to Red Monkey Designs. I don't know if you can see that little red monkey bag up there.
Oh,
I
in the
know,
hand. I
in the
didn't see
hand.
that.
I know. That's
That's
where I keep.
amazing.
Uh-oh, we just heard this. Angelica, the sexy psychic to the stars, arrived. She'll be on in just a few. Actually, Miss Rosie's going to get a live reading from her. All of us are, actually. I don't think she knows this. And we're so excited because we have the new overhead cam, and we're going to have the tarot here.
Oh,
it's
wow,
a whole thing.
you guys.
Yeah, surprising everybody. That's
I'm
it.
pretending to be surprised. I've seen this show, so I know that you have it overhead.
Of course,
Sorry.
she's our number one fan.
I
She
love
loves it.
watching this show in the living room on the big screen. It's amazing.
And if you set your notifications, you too can be reminded when our show is on, or actually even when it's not on live, we cut it up and we put it out on playlists so you can watch it on
Yeah,
demand.
it's amazing.
Thank you for supporting us. We
Of
love
course.
that. I know. I feel the
Yeah.
same way. I'm like, I love this woman so much. I'll support her. Well, also what you do is putting something out. I just want to tie up a few loose ends because, we get so excited. It's easy to say that you just, robbed a cop car and wrote a book. And that's not the, that's not,
And that's that.
And that's the
and now
way it
here
went.
I am. I survived to tell the tale.
But in between there, you have a fascinating story. Like you went from, and this is the point I think of your story for me, anyways, in terms of inspiring me, is it does get better. Anything is possible if you, do the work, reflect on the situation, and then set your intention, and then go for it.
Yeah.
And in between the cop car and the book,
Yeah.
there's been a beautiful and interesting life that's included really, like you learned how to make a lifestyle brand from a big famous exercise person, right?
Shall remain nameless.
Shall remain nameless. And in that journey and in this relationship with Tori and in becoming an expert in the wellness and sort of grounded community. What is your community called? Yoga,
Yeah,
wellness?
I guess it would be the wellness community. And yeah, thank you for saying all of that. I'm trying to be better about receiving
Taking compliments. We
Yes.
just have a guest on about that recently.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
you
important
did?
to- yes.
Yeah,
that's
I
on our-
remember when you guys went around and something that you appreciated about yourself. I remember.
I actually think we should do that again today, maybe, just as a thing that we
That
do.
would
That
be
was a
fun.
suggestion by Angelica, actually, who's here now.
Yeah,
So we'll have
I
that.
love that.
We'll have her come on for that. But those in-between stories, that's what I want to just ask you at least one meaningful question. That
Yeah.
if you look at your life and we have these big moments of ups and downs, but what do you think is the attribute or the characteristic that exists in you or that you learned that got you on the right path?
Oh man, I'll try and not get choked up. It's just that I just won't stop. I mean, I'll keep going. Like I'm so compelled to just continue to move forward and not to really live the essence of failing forward and just even having a moment of breakdown or feeling like everything I'm doing doesn't work or it's not working or why isn't this happening? Am I going the right way? Am I going in the right direction? It doesn't matter. I always get to this place of like, no, I'm doing it the way I need to be doing it. It's not about being right or wrong. And I'm smiling because Mariah just we recorded a podcast for Radically Loved just yesterday, and it continues to remind me with Sadhviji, who's like this big guru, the whole idea of us getting stuck and feeling like the odds are stacked against us. We are so resilient. We are built to withstand changes. We're built to withstand any adversity that comes our way. That's how we were built for it. And so I always remember that, and I always anchor into that. And that's where Radically Loved comes in, because I do believe that we are radically loved by this universal force, God, Buddha, whatever it is that you believe, that we are held and supported by that essence. And no matter which direction we decide to go, if we are honoring our own truth and our own will, we'll always get to where we need to be.
It's well said.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, and it is emotional. I think that we themed out this whole episode, this whole show, this 3-hour block, for radical love. That's the theme of the show, and I wanted to ask you about that. You got into it perfect just now. Where did that come from, that concept? Because that's sort of your thing. Like, you ask it, if you listen to Rosie's, if any one of the nearly 500 episodes of your show now, I love to brag about you a little bit, because you're not just sitting here writing books. Like, they're not handing out these opportunities to anybody. So more than a million downloads. In fact, I love this photo, and I put it together in my head.
We're at 3 million now, but who's
well,
checking?
back when they were at 1 million, she took this photo, I think, poolside with the big gold balloons. Is that what the one M was?
Yes.
Or were you like, I know
That
some
was my first
M&Ms, and the other
million.
M blew away?
Oh my God, can you imagine? Thanks, JD, of course. That was 1 million. The 1 million mark felt amazing. You know, it definitely felt like a huge accomplishment, because I know so many people in the industry that buy streams, or, you know, buy
Wait, hold on,
things.
you can do that?
Right?
Oh,
I'm
how?
like,
How do you, just out of curiosity?
You can't, but look, I mean, and more, you know, more power to them. I know that, look, getting a book deal is a lot more impressive when you have 1 million downloads, and the work is the work. If it means that I need to buy 1 million downloads to get somebody to pay attention to what I'm doing, like, I don't have any judgment.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't do that, because I live in a very, like, I would know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, and also, you are so good at this. You speak from the heart,
Yeah.
and you speak without filter from the heart, which
Yeah.
you can't do that if you're not living your life honestly.
Right.
And it's not honest to buy.
Right. And I talk
likes,
about that.
followers, anything.
Right. I talk about truth versus honesty in the book too. And that, how that's also a part of radical self-love, to be able to really anchor into that, and the difference and the nuance. And sometimes it's not pretty, right? So I think the first million meant a lot, because I had worked so hard to get there, and I was consistent, and there was the first 3 years of the podcast, I mean, nobody was listening to it. You know, it was like,
I know a little something about
downloads,
that.
you know? So no, but that's why I say to every
Right.
single person,
Determination.
determination, and it's like with any entrepreneur out there, it's like, you got to have the stomach for it. Not everybody's built for it.
That's
you know,
right.
not everybody's built to weather the storm, to be in a position where you're not going to get that validation. Nobody's going to tell you that something's resonating. It's going to take a long time. That's why I love being a marathon runner. You know, it's like training myself to wait and to train for the long term as opposed to the sprint. You know, I think that it means more. If I were to buy streams or anything like that and get the book deal, like, I would feel a little bit like cheated,
Right.
You know, I wouldn't feel like it's something I did and something I'm really proud of, you know.
Plus, people will always find out. What happens in the dark comes out in the light. That is just so true. Like,
Damn, he's bringing it like that.
well, there you go. A little
Preach.
saying. But it's and exactly,
Yeah.
And if what you're selling is authenticity,
Yeah.
what you're selling is, going on a healing journey with yourself. I mean, the last thing that you want to do is have anything that is, deceitful or dishonest associated with it.
Yeah, no. And again, it has to do, with what you were saying earlier, that the radical love is such a big theme, and it's been such a big theme. And what I wanted to say is that for me, like as a teacher, you teach what you need to learn.
Right.
So for me, it wasn't easy to be in that state of self-love and abundance and not have a scarcity mindset. I was the opposite, and I didn't believe that there was a force out there. I didn't have faith. I didn't believe that I was supported, because I grew up in an environment where shit was chaotic, you know, constantly. There was bad things happened to good people all day long. So how then was I supposed to believe that by being a good person, good things would happen to me? You know, it's sort of the paradox that came in at a young age that made me curious about going on this quest. Like, what is there really out there? What is the real purpose of living this life? You know, it's the question of life. Like, what gives life purpose, and what's the meaning? What gives life meaning? You know, honest living, I think, is part of it. Knowing yourself, you know. I'm not like answering this question for the world. No, I know. But like, what do you guys think? Yeah, too? Let's open this up to the room.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
Somebody else go first. I was getting choked up a little bit listening to all this. But,
when you do decide to answer, lean forward and talk right into that mic. Thanks. I just want to make sure you're heard, DeMarcus.
Wow.
There you go. What about you, Becky? We'll give DeMarcus a second to think about it.
Okay.
I love this topic, by the way. What gives life meaning?
Right. Yeah, what gives meaning?
So many things.
What gives your life
Food,
meaning?
people, social.
Exactly. And for everyone, it's
babies.
different.
Yeah. Star Wars themed quinceañeras.
I had a Star Wars themed quinceañera.
No
What?
way.
Yeah.
Did
you?
So cool. I almost.
Oh my God, no, I did
backed
it.
out last
Wait, you're
minute.
kidding.
I chickened out.
There is
no, I
no way.
wow.
I
That's
did it.
here first,
So
folks.
cool.
We just were talking about that.
I have
That's
pictures of it.
crazy.
That's-
Send them to you.
Oh my
Crazy.
goodness, we got to see those pictures.
Yeah.
Please.
I had like a band
She
play.
got talked out of it.
Why?
Did anyone try to talk you out of it?
Of course, my parents were devastated. I had the full-on quinceañera wedding dress with the frills and everything, and I was crying because I was like punk rock, and I was like, I can't do it. It just doesn't feel good. It's pricky.
So what made it Star Wars themed? I thought you were gonna be dressed. Did you have two buttons, like two?
Oh no,
Princess
like
Leia
it was
buttons?
Star Wars. Like we put Star Wars deck. It was like a Star Wars birthday party. I had a Star Wars
I see.
cake.
The decor.
It was the decor. I didn't wear the dress. No, I was like, I had my like Star Wars T-shirt on.
Oh, you ended up not
Oh
wearing
no, I
that.
did not do the quinceañera thing. No, I was like, no, Star
Wait,
Wars.
Just
all
as a
the way.
reminder, 15. That's quinceañera.
Quinceañera.
Yes.
And how old were you when you got arrested for stealing that cop car?
It was a couple months before that.
So it was a busy year.
Yeah, it was a busy year.
You were.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
She took the car cop.
Oh no, because I got arrested. Okay, so it was sophomore year. So you're 14 when you're a freshman. You're 15 when you're a sophomore. So that means my birthday party came first, and then I got arrested. Because I'm like, they wouldn't have let me have a party because I was on probation. I couldn't be around people.
If we hit rewind,
Yes.
wait over that sound button, and we hear the conversation between you and your parents, it goes something like this: "You're wearing the white dress." I am not. I'm wearing my Star Wars T-shirt.
Oh no, I told them I would wear it.
Oh, you lied.
Yeah, of course.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I was like, no, I'm gonna wear the dress and it'll be nice and everything. It was like, okay, fine, we'll have a Star Wars themed party if you wear the dress.
Oh, you worked them.
yeah.
Then, so you had the whole. How is this even a thing? Like the fact that two Star Wars themed quinceañeras have popped up
That's
on one
amazing.
show
On
is
one show, yeah.
that's pretty amazing.
I have,
Yeah.
yeah.
So they thought you were going to show up in the white dress.
Oh yeah.
And then what was the look like on their faces when you came in
They didn't say anything.
Oh, they were that mad.
I got blanked,
Oh, that's
and I didn't
even
give
worse.
a shit.
You get to
I was
stare.
like, whatever.
You get to stare.
Oh.
Yeah, but I didn't care. I was so rebellious, like that. It didn't affect me. Like I didn't have structure. Like I didn't have rules. So that's why it was so easy for me to break them because I didn't ever have them. So there wasn't any. I think my mom at some point tried to like shame me, but I'm like, I have no shame. You can't shame somebody that's shameless.
But in the good way, like you've moved on from your shame days, or like in the way that, the phrase shameless, like we know from the TV show Shameless, usually references people that are like, just don't give a beep.
Yeah, I didn't. That's why, again, I was so like anti everything. If
Really?
my mom told me, because my parents were separated, they weren't together. So it was if I wanted to do something and my mom said no, I would just call my dad and be like, I really want to do this. And he'd be like, just do it. And I'm like, okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Can I tell mom you said it was okay? Sure.
Yeah. And they had a
More
terrible
upset
relationship
she gets,
at
the
time,
better.
too.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it didn't matter.
Well, but here's the thing. I don't want what surprises me about the way we talk is that your life is so not that.
Oh,
And
no.
You're
No.
so like, when I want to feel better, if I'm overwhelmed, if I'm worked up, you're the person I talk to. you have a soothing, just calm quality about you that I tend to associate with people that are very grounded and that are very much like know who they are and are not, rebels and giving their parents trouble and like. So your journey is, and that's why I love this word journey, a healing journey to self-love. Because who no one's born loving themselves.
No. Well,
or are we all born loving ourselves
yeah,
and we're
we
taught
are.
not to?
We're
and then
kind
we
of
have to
conditioned. It's called childhood.
Yeah.
We have a childhood, and then we get all.
Did anybody else here do that? I did it too.
Yeah.
Did you guys do childhood?
Unfortunately.
You did too?
I actually never did that.
No, you didn't?
No?
I swear, I know some people that you think never did childhood.
Right?
They'd have no idea what it's like to be a kid anymore.
That makes me sad.
But it is one of those things where it's so relatable. Like, I just feel like your story is just a story that at least 3 million people can relate to because that's how many people have downloaded our podcast. Can I go back to that though for a second?
Oh, sure.
Is that one of those, because you kind of what I'm pulling away as a theme of this interview is the power of determination, the power of never giving up and hard work.
I'm determined AF.
I can imagine when this has got to be daunting. Like,
Yeah.
Raise your hand if you've written a book. See, not one person in here. Oh, that's right. Dang it, Angelica, you're messing up my system.
I'm on a book cover.
So then you could relate to this.
That's cool.
You're on a book cover?
My cousin wrote a book and she wanted me to model for it.
Like Fabio?
Yeah. So I did my sexy
Do you
pose.
have long, flowing blonde locks?
I mean, it's standing up, but
Are you shirtless? Is it like a romantic novel?
it is a romantic novel. It is.
Oh my God. Can we pull this up?
What is the name of this book?
What is the name of it?
Oh my God.
Well, we know what you're doing for the next 10 minutes. All right, Becky, do you have any questions for us? So I swear, the fact that 2 people in here have had a Star Wars themed quinceañera, or almost, is still like sort of rocking my world.
I had the aspects in it.
Oh yeah, the
That's
simple
great.
things.
Yeah, like little touches, little hints.
Did you find it, Mariah?
Aren't we lucky to
I'm
get
waiting
to
till-
grow up in a world
Okay.
where so much change is
If he finds
possible?
it, I'll
Yes.
pull it up.
Like sometimes there's societies out there, just be proud to be an American. I mean, say everything you will.
Yeah.
This is a free country, and you can turn your cards. You can
Yes, you
change
can.
your cards. You can change your stripes if you want to here.
I'm a born patriot.
Me too.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that. And I
Yeah.
love that people of color, people who
Yeah.
understand marginalization, we are patriots. We are.
Yes.
This is what America looks like.
Yeah, I love my country.
Okay.
I'm American all the way.
This is what America looks like, people. I'm telling you.
Rainbow boa.
Oh.
I know I'm feeling it in here today.
Oh.
Because like I'm so tired of people co-opting America and patriotism for like these Southern, like it's all just a bunch of white people yelling at each other.
Yeah,
like
no.
it's not like
Oh no, I was
America,
trained.
all of us.
I was trained. I was taught. Like my dad was like, you need to basically kiss the ground you walk on. This is your country.
Mm-hmm.
There's other countries that don't have the freedom. So the only gift, my dad's like, not in his mind. I mean, in real life, he didn't come from means at all. I mean, he was poor. He grew up in a shanty with like a dirt floor and no shoes, and went to school up to the 4th grade, and came to America and always taught us that this is your country, respect your country, and the biggest gift that I could have given you and your sister is have you guys born in this country, and that's a huge gift.
And that totally underscores the power and honestly the common thought of most immigrants. Like most immigrants that I know come to America because they love America, not because they're trying to steal jobs or trying to whatever all the things are. This is a nation of immigrants. The fact that we've grown into a place where some Americans feel so comfortable denigrating immigrants and saying that they're like somehow less American. The most American people sometimes are immigrants because they care the most about being an American. Like they've changed their whole life to get here and figure it out. So I have a lot of respect.
Yeah, same.
For that story.
Samesies.
And for your dad for changing his cards and for giving you the chance.
Yeah.
And then, boy, but when you were a screw up as a young kid, he was like, "What did I do all this for?"
Yeah.
At first. And then he's like, "Oh, this is why." Because you grew up and look at you now.
Well, I mean, it's like my dad is the epitome of unconditional love. It's funny that, there were moments where but he would always say, you're going to grow out of this. This isn't who you are, And I think that actually really helped my curiosity with where I was, because I believed him.
Right.
He would say, this isn't you. This isn't who you are. This isn't what you're meant to be doing.
Yeah.
he said, you're having a moment, you're being a teenager, you're kind of going through this difficult time, but he just would always love me. I never felt rejected or ashamed, or he always just fully accepted me. He'd drive me to my probation officer. He would take me to training runs, and he just always showed up. My mom, on the other hand, was the tenuous relationship that it took many, many years to heal, because she was the one that had us most of the time. So she's the one that actually had to suffer with having a teenage girl be rebellious and say, F you, I won't do what you tell me. So.
And yeah, it's sometimes you feel bad for the parent who is, like, sometimes the more popular parent is the one who has spending less time with the kid.
Yeah, I had a weekend dad. So.
Yeah, Disneyland dads that it's easy to like say, oh, they're the hero.
Yeah,
totally. Meanwhile, the mom's at home doing all the grunt work and getting shit on. Yeah, usually.
No, I give her all the credit now. My mom is like, she's taken precedence.
I bet that means a lot to her.
Yeah,
I mean, me too. Like I know that my mom worked really hard. Like she was defined by her hard work, I'd say, growing up, and was a beautiful lesson for me. But also it meant that she wasn't always available.
Yeah.
And so when I've said that, but without saying the rest of it, which is, but she has loved me so unconditionally and more than anybody on the planet, and thank God for that, because that grounds me. Then all you might hear is, oh, I'm complaining about my, the early days. But what parent? I mean, we were not raised like these kids are today.
No, not at all.
Like helicopter parent. I didn't even have like a 747 parent. Like it was, no. I don't know. Like it's just people did not do that back then. It was like, go play in the street, try not to get hit.
Yeah.
That was love.
That was totally love.
And if you get hit, then learn a lesson.
Exactly.
There were no learning moments like we would watch on Silver Spoons or the Cosby Show. Those moments.
Sit down for a second, honey.
Yeah,
let's talk.
Let's talk about this.
Oh,
and
God.
I wanted that so bad. I really wanted that.
This
is not reality.
Yeah, no.
Nobody wanted to talk about feelings.
A lot of us had those moments with like TV moms and TV dads.
Yeah.
That's why we're so attached. Like when Bob Saget died, like we're all like, that was like kind of my TV dad for a while. And you know who else was big? I used to watch, I'll tell you how old I am. Family Ties.
Oh, I loved Family Ties. Yes.
With the Seavers.
Yes.
And Michael J. Fox was the son on that show. And Justine Bateman, Jason Bateman's sister. And who were the mom on that show ended up being a lesbian. So there's another LGBT angle on one of my favorite shows. But I used to watch that show. All the shows that had like a like a nuclear family and we're mom and dad and brother and sister. It was such a fantasy.
Yeah, I wanted that so bad. And I'm
Right,
like, I live in a 2-bedroom shitty apartment with 10 people.
In Barstow, California. I did not live in a shitty apartment. I lived in a gorgeous house, thank you, Mom, but
amazing.
with 40 grandmas and grandpas.
Oh my God.
Nice.
Because it
All
was a
the
retirement
deals.
home.
Right.
That was our family business. I love that.
That's great.
What else do I need to ask? What are the most important things that you want people to know about You Are Radically Loved, besides that it comes out on Amazon on 2/22/22?
Well, on everywhere. You can get
Everywhere.
it at Target,
But let's be
Walmart,
honest.
Barnes
Oh
and
my
Noble.
goodness, yes.
Nice. I go to Target a lot, so I'll be seeing that.
Everywhere.
Do
Everywhere.
you
books are
know
sold.
that when I go to any bookstore and I see your book there, I'm
You're
going
gonna buy
to
it?
freak out.
I'm too.
Oh, good.
Well, I'm going to tell everybody. I'm going to just like, oh my God.
I'm buying copies for everyone.
Oh my God, please.
This is my
thank
friend's
you.
book, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I have to say that I
Can I
love
tell you guys something? Oh, I'm
that it's
sorry. Go
paced
ahead.
out. No. What I was going to say was not important. It had to do with line spacing. Your thing is better, I'm sure.
No. What I was going to say is that people don't realize how difficult it is to sell a book. It's really hard. I mean, because people think, oh, yeah, the book, I'll get it at some point. But it's like, it has to be worth somebody's time. I mean, you're asking them to spend hours reading something that you wrote. And so I say that, and especially with female authors or authors of color, like, it's so important to be supporting female authors, especially right now. So remember that the next time you go buy a book.
Yeah, not only and also you're a first-time author.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're not going to be a last-time author, even though I know that you went through a lot of pain to create this masterpiece. But I do sense, I guess Angelica has told me this a lot on our show, that she thinks maybe I'm a little bit of an empath or a little bit of a intuitive. And I have this feeling that this is not the last book you're going to write. I feel that way because I think this is going to be a hit. I really do. I think if people know you, like I know you and love you, but even people that don't, there's a reason why 3 million people have downloaded your podcasts. You know,
I have great guests.
But your questions are great and your heart is in it. That is what I would say. That if anytime you listen to Rosie, you just hear the authentic truth. And not to say that she's some perfect person. Everybody's lives have ups and downs.
Actually, not an awesome human being.
I mean, the only time she's ever been perfect is in her entire relationship with Tori.
Oh,
she's
God.
never made a mistake.
If you really want to see how flawed humans are, check out their personal relationships, you know, especially the people closest to you, because, you know, it's so interesting, you know, especially being a teacher and leading trainings and retreats, which you've attended. I love that my students have this vision of me being this totally grounded, calm, open-hearted, honest person. And I love that. It definitely is a part of who I am. But man, the person that gets the brunt of my dark passenger is definitely Tori. You know, he gets to see me when I'm just like having meltdowns galore.
Still accepts you and loves you unconditionally.
He does.
That is the
is
beauty. Yeah, that is the beauty of a good man, a good relationship. They support you, love you, are there for you in the good times and the bad times.
Yeah.
And the fact is, we all have good days and bad days, but you've been there for me through some of my hardest times. So I really love you and thank you for that.
I love you too.
The book is called You Are Radically Loved, A Healing Journey to Self-Love by Rosie Acosta, host of the Radically Loved podcast. You can get it everywhere, including Target, Walmart, and Amazon on Tuesday, 2/22/22.
Same day that Donda drops.
That the same. Wait, what drops that?
Kanye.
Kanye West.
Oh my goodness.
She had to bring Kanye into this.
Okay, we gotta
Edit it out.
I found DeMarcus's book cover.
Oh my God! I am loving this. Okay. Oh wow. Yes, I'm here for it. Southern Gentleman. He didn't. DeMarcus.
Wow.
Oh man, wow.
Goodness.
This I don't even know what.
And it's a USA
I feel
Today
like you get this button.
bestseller. It's a USA Today bestseller.
Oh boy.
This is a magical cover. You definitely have a pouty sort of come over and see my bedroom look on your face.
DeMarcus, do you ever think about like
What
who's
is
reading
it?
this book and like looking at your picture?
Oh yes, I've been told by several people, teachers.
Oh.
I purchased the book today, Marcus.
Yeah. Because when your face is on the cover and that's the only picture associated with the book, your face is what they're thinking of the whole time.
And I thought about that later. I'm like, wow, maybe I should have thought that through. But
He gripped me with his masculine thighs, pulled me in closer. I was like,
man.
DeMarcus.
Oh my God.
What's your character's name? Or the lead?
I hope she's not watching this.
Are we
I
gonna?
have not read the book.
But just showed up for the cover.
Not yet. It's on that to-do list.
Yes.
It really
I'll
is.
tell you, I have so much more respect and now going through this process for authors, whether their book was good or not good. It's like somebody can write a book. It is such a huge feat.
And she's
kudos.
written like a ton of them.
Oh wow.
Like,
And Rosie, can I ask how long? Because this took a long time for you to like get. So from the beginning, how many years has it been?
Yeah, she got her book deal back in 2011, right?
20? No. I'm like, geez,
Back
that's
in
a long time.
1995.
Back in good old. I wasn't even born yet.
I know. She's a
just
product of 2000. She's just born in 2000, right?
You're talking about. I just want because I'm like, oh yeah, I know so many of the same shows. I'm actually just saying that just to make you feel better because I have no idea what those shows are. I was born in 2000.
What are you talking about? Is that on Nickelodeon? That's what I grew up
I
with.
remember. I grew up watching Frozen.
My first movie was Encanto, and I loved it. We have to talk about Encanto at some future show, by the way. Everybody is talking about this movie.
Yeah, it took. I got the book deal in 2020, actually March 2020. So it took
March of
me-
20. Nothing else happened that time.
Yeah, right.
March of 2020, the world decided to shut down so that Rosie could focus on her book.
Exactly. I wouldn't have been able to do it
Yes.
had we not been in a pandemic. I'll tell you
Right?
that right now. It was really hard. So it took about a year. Took a year and a half.
Yeah,
I
mean,
feel
and
you on that.
That's
Yeah.
probably common for a book. Like,
Yeah.
I could imagine they might take several years. Some of
Yeah.
them.
Well, there was still edits happening up until like last December.
Right.
So it took a good year and a half for sure.
And were the names of everyone changed to protect the innocent? Is my name in here?
Some there are a couple of stories where
Another uncomfortable day at the podcast studio. When I guess I'll have to read that later.
Oh my god, there are a couple of stories in here that I did change some of the names, but oh my god,
I know.
I'm done.
Looking
I
at my
think
time. Look at
here
that.
by the
101. How
book.
many seconds do we have? That's our countdown clock, by the way.
Oh, it is. Oh,
Yes.
oh.
So that tells me that we are time now. Oh, by the way,
For new-
any final thoughts? Final thoughts.
Oh, final thoughts.
Did we mention the book comes out on Tuesday, 2/22? 2. So many twos.
I just hope that
It's very
people.
auspicious.
It is. That people just enjoy it. You know, I wrote the book that I needed to read, and I hope that people get some value out of it.
I do too.
Your book's going to do amazing. I can feel it.
Thank
I
you.
do. I mean, you already sold at least 5 copies.
Yep.
So, boom. Oh, what? See, I knew we needed that cash register sound in here.
Oh yeah. Cha-ching.
But I'll do that.
Oh my
That
god.
is your book, ladies and gentlemen. You Are Radically Love is available.
Thank you.
Next week. Make sure you get it, and it's a great stocking stuffer. Give it to anybody who wants to learn how to take a journey through to self-love, because that is the most important thing. And our first mindful moment was a quote from RuPaul, all about loving
love
yourself.
RuPaul.
If you
I
can't
love
love yourself,
RuPaul.
how are you gonna love anybody else? And now it's time for our second mindful moment. Once again, this is Black History Month, and so we are honoring great Black Americans by showing some of their quotes. Here you go. All right. You guys are probably saying, whoa, what happened? You look like you're in a totally different place. Not really. We're still in the same studio. I'm just about 10 feet away from the main desk over there, where the amazing and beautiful, sexy psychic to the stars, Angelica Perman, is setting up to be able to give our guest of honor today, Rosie Acosta, who's been by talking about her new book, You Are Radically Loved. She's going to be the first one up to get a very special intuitive reading with our sexy psychic to the stars, Angelica Perman, and I'm looking over to see if it is. Why don't you talk into your microphone, Angelica? Let me hear.
Hi, everybody.
Go ahead and lower it just a little bit so that
Okay.
it's a little bit lower. There you go. And it's right under your mouth.
How's that?
Perfect.
Hi.
Oh, that is beautiful.
yeah, it's
That
great.
is beautiful.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Hi, everybody. How you doing?
How's it going?
Hi.
Okay, so we're here with the gang.
Mm-hmm.
Mariah, JD,
DeMarcus.
and Becky.
Yay.
Hi. And I'm Angelica Perman, and I am going to do a reading today for Rosie. We have not met.
We've not met.
Which is cool.
Oh, that blows my mind.
I know.
I
A sister
actually
from another mister.
I know.
But isn't this great though? Because you've been wanting to do a reading on someone you didn't know. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's perfect.
So I'm just going to have you focus on your breath. All right. Yeah. I'm going to pick this deck first. So I have several different decks here. And I'm going to have you say your first and last name 3 times. And I'm going to tune into you. And I use the deck, but I'm also really intuitive and clairvoyant. So I'll use the cards to go off of that. But I'm going to be sharing information.
Okay. Rosie Acosta, Rosie Acosta, Rosie Acosta.
Well, you are guided. Despite yourself. When you weren't listening, life was like, this is what you're going to do, sister. You are not going to go that way. Like, you could have gone the party girl way, and like this way, and then life was like, took you by the nape of your neck and like forced you into the path that you're on. That was how it was going to go down in this lifetime, because you were like, Earth is really fun, and I want to be a bad girl. I definitely feel the bad girl vibes that you've...
So bad I wanted to do it.
Yeah, but that you stopped resisting because life kicked your ass, basically. And was like, this is what you're doing. And then once it opened up, you're like, I don't know, this doesn't make any sense. I mean, I don't get this path, but I'm going for it. And I think people were like, what are you doing? Like, okay, all right, we want to be supportive of you, but like, this is different. And so then when you hit that big marker,